the Millennial Gaze.
Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your girl, Maymoney. And obviously, we have a special guest here today, Kev, the creator. Say hello, Kev.
Hey, y'all. It's your boy, Kev, the creator, ready to talk some shit.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. So, if you have not seen in the title of this episode in the thumbnail, we have to talk America's Next Top Model documentary entitled Reality Check. They kind of went low key, they kind of went underwater for a little bit there, and then just blasted the whole world, with all they tea, with all they business, and we need to talk about it. I've been waiting to talk about this for a minute. What say you?
I mean, we've heard like the rumblings and the chit chat for years. You know, certain contestants have been more spoken out than others, like Lisa D'Amato, if I'm pronouncing her last name right. You know, she's a hardcore, you know, this happened, that happened, but we never really got the full picture of what was going on. And just FYI, this ain't no bash Tyra in them session. It's more so, I'm the kind of person, I'm with you when you're right, and I'm gonna call that ass out when you're wrong. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna address what I saw. You know what I mean? You showed it. I didn't ask for the damn documentary. Y'all showed it. Y'all put it out there, and I'm gonna respond to what I saw. You know what I mean? So I'm not here to bash anybody, but I will not pull any punches. I was a little bit disturbed and concerned about some shit that I saw, and we'll get into that. But yes, get your snacks, get your drinks. I have my bubbly, okay, because it's the weekend, and
all right, we got to do our best Tyra pose before we start.
Oh, what was?
I'm smizing.
Am I smizing?
Oh, you something, child.
Well, that's how she was smizing. I thought she used to have it down, but now she started to give me the creeps. I was like, girl, you need to put that smize stuff down, girl.
You know, she go a little too far sometime now.
Yeah.
little bit, but we still love you, girl. You just get your shit together.
Because I'm concerned. I really am. You starting to give me a little bit of a concerning thing. So yes, make sure that you guys have your smize ready. And make sure you have, you know, your doc, just in case you need to pull up like some old information. Let us know in the chat, like if you watched the show, or if you stopped watching at any point, or if you had any favorite people that were in the show. We're going to bring up a whole bunch of people. But before we get started, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and invite people over to come talk about it, especially if you know they were Top Models fans and all that good stuff. So, hey, you ready to get into it?
And please fact check us in the chat if necessary.
Yes, please, because you know there's a lot to remember. There's freaking like 24 seasons of information here, and there are a lot of things that I forgot about, or I was at 10 years old when it happened and stuff like that. So, just let us know. So before we get into our first thing, I wanted to look at all 24 winners of the show. Like before we get started, and do you have any favorites? Do you have any ones that you may have dropped off on, or like a cycle that you don't remember?
After 10, it gets a little fuzzy. I didn't watch like the whole British invasion. I think I stopped watching after they did the short girl season. I kind of fell off, and I think I started watching it again when they did All Stars.
Yeah. What was the short girl season? Do you remember?
I think it was 13, but don't quote me on that.
It was Ann Ward.
Yeah, I think that might have been cycle 13.
Oh,
but my favorite are probably the first 9. I love the first 9.
Yeah.
And when they lost the Jays, that's when it kind of You know.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorites. Like I actually really liked Adrian. Like the first winner.
Yeah.
Um, really, just I thought her pictures were gorgeous and stuff. And of course, it's the
Yeah.
first. Those are introduction of it. I
Yeah.
didn't like Joanna. I didn't like season 2 winner. I thought that the other girl should have won.
Mercedes should have won.
Mercedes. She definitely should have
But
won.
but Joanna's picture is iconic. That the
Oh
one
yeah, with the
the
helmet.
helmet,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
iconic.
No, I
And
give her flowers,
yeah,
but I liked
yeah,
Mercedes. And I
yeah.
think Mercedes ended up being a little bit more kind of in the business. I Joanna, I never heard it from her again, honestly.
Well, some of the I guess quote unquote runners up or losers were more of the winners, and then you have ones like Eva that she in
Right.
every show now, so she stay winning. Keep the
Yeah.
check.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we all love Eva. Naima, I really liked Naima too.
I like Naima. She didn't really have much of a personality, but she was fierce. And like I did
Yeah.
see like a couple like ads and commercials during that time, but you know.
Who was her runner up? Was it Yaya?
No, Yaya was season 3.
Okay.
The season 4 runner up. I don't remember. I remember that. Oh no! I do remember. It was the white girl. Because they did the runway in the water and they were splashing.
Oh,
Damn, I can't remember her name. But
I can't either. I
yeah,
know. I remember that walk though.
yeah, yeah. Fuck, get
Yeah.
away from me.
Yeah, I remember Nicole. She was all
Mhm.
right, whatever.
She was alright.
I liked Danielle a lot. I liked her personality a lot.
Yeah, I
And
was
I
rooting for
actually
her.
liked that whole season. Season 6 was one of my favorites.
Season six, and season 3, top tier,
Yeah,
top tier.
definitely. Carrie D. I do remember her. I was like, okay.
Yeah, she was a lot, but I liked her too. I liked her too, and
Hmm.
I've seen her in things over the years.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
I loved Jasmine. I loved her season. I thought she
Tata
was,
Diva.
yes, she was just, I loved her.
Yeah,
Salisha or Sal Stowers, I guess that's her name now. I guess I
yeah.
do remember it a little bit, but not really.
On the show, she was still Celicia, and I remember at that time there was some controversy with her because I want to say some of the girls were already working models.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cara talked about this recently. She was already kind of a working model when she got on the show, and
Mm-hmm.
she had a whole commercial and ad campaign, and there was controversy at the time. Chad, if I'm wrong, correct me. But I think they felt like it was kind of unfair because she was more experienced than some of the girls
Yeah,
on the
I do
show.
kind of remember that kind of being a thing. Like
Yeah.
even at the beginning of that season, maybe it's starting to ring a bell.
Did
I
you
really
ever?
liked Whitney a lot. I liked her
Yeah.
personality. I liked that she was the first plus size winner.
Yeah.
And she had to go through a lot to even get through the damn show because
Yeah.
of being plus size.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Nikki, I remember her
I
ever so
remember
slight.
her.
Yeah. And then Tiana, I think, was like one of the last ones. And then I missed like all of this until the All Star season.
So I remember Tiana. She was
Mm-hmm.
good. I
Mm-hmm.
remember the Nicole Fox. That was the short season 13. And then the
Oh,
last one, that was the short season, the petite season, I think they were calling it.
okay. I dropped off right
Then,
before that.
and then I think the next season I did watch was Krista. Seeing her picture, I remember Krista, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't watch anymore until the All Star season.
Yeah. I think I dropped off at Tiana and then like went back during the pandemic and then caught up
Mm-hmm.
and watched all of them all the way through. And
Yeah,
and so like actually I don't remember this Sophie Sumner person at all.
yeah. That might have been one of the
British
British
ones.
season. I didn't watch that at all.
Or Laura James, I don't remember her neither.
Yeah, I don't know her.
I remember Jordan because that's when Rita Ora took over.
Yeah,
And Keith Carlos. I remember Keith because I was like, ooh, Key. Okay, hey.
Come on, chocolate. I, I actually didn't mind it when it went to VH1 for those couple seasons because
Yeah.
Roach was on the panel, Ashley Graham was on the panel, and then Tyra came back as host. So I was
Yeah.
like, it was like they kind of found their footing again, and then it just dropped off after that.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I didn't mind it either, actually.
Yeah.
I remember the Keith thing. I don't, and then actually Niall DeMarco, he's deaf.
I remember him. I
Yeah.
remember now. Him I've seen. Him
Oh
and the
yeah,
other,
he's still around. He's still doing hella.
yeah. Old boy with the lace front beard too. He's still around.
He was on that season.
Yes.
Oh God, I felt so bad for him. And then I actually do remember Kyla. I did watch that season, but I don't remember
Yeah.
like much about it. Like I don't
Did you-
remember much about it, but
Did you ever watch Project Runway?
a little bit of it, not as religiously.
So one of the seasons, their final, they do their final show is at Bryant Park. That's where all the designers show their designs. And Danny was one of the models at Bryant
Oh,
Park.
oh,
Her and Bianca from season 9. I forgot what season it is.
mm,
I just watched it again recently and I completely forgot. But
no. So they did a little collab there.
I don't even know if it was the collab. I just think they were walking in the show and it just happened to be them.
They just happen to be there. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes. Okay. So audience, that was kind of our recap of the winners, just to give us a nice reminder there. And there were a lot of changes throughout the season. So like, some people fell love, and they got new people, and some, and a lot of people stopped watching and then they came back, things like that. And so we just wanted to give y'all kind of the basic rundown before we get into reality check. But one thing I will say before we get started is that like this show started out in 2003. So I don't know how old you are, Kev, or how old you were when it first started. If you started watching from season 1 immediately, or
I'm 30. I'm 37. And I only started watching Top Model because Buffy the Vampire Slayer used to come on UPN. So in their last season, they started doing the promotion for Top Model. So I was like, what's this? Well, I know Tyra Banks from, Fresh Prince and Higher Learning and all that. Let me see what she did. And that's how I started watching.
And yeah, I was maybe like 10. I don't know, something like that. And my like we didn't have like cable, like only my grandma did. So I would watch like all the Nickelodeon, all the Cartoon Network and stuff at my grandma's house. But we only had channel 2, 5, 7, 11, and like 20 and 44. Those were like the only ones that worked at my house. And so we was on UPN. That was pretty much where I stayed.
Baby, UPN was the shit back in the day.
It really was. Yes.
And I want people to remember that once we get into it, because a lot of the changes with the show happened because UPN and the WB merged and became the CW.
Right.
And so a lot of shit changed on a lot of shows, including this one. So y'all keep that in mind.
And even like the CW kind of shifted into a different, like, because there used to be all the black shows on the UPN, like the Parkers, Half and Half,
Moesha,
Girlfriends, all those like black shows would be on there. And then even like reruns for like The Simpsons and all those things were on there. I think Veronica Mars started off on UPN and then switched over.
And all those shows didn't survive the merge.
No, they did not. They did not. A lot of them got cut off. I think like Half and Half I really liked, and that one got cut off. Yeah. So that's something to keep in mind, as why that even got picked up was because it was mostly black shows, and then it took off, and so they ended up keeping it.
Period, Keish.
Yep. We know. All right. So are you ready to get into this first segment? Let's talk about, we're just going to go through each and every one of these, the contestants that were in the show.
Okay.
I may have to refer to my notes just to remember who was on it. And I think I'm missing one woman, but let me know if we missed her. But we're gonna start with who's the first one? We're gonna start with let's just start with Danielle
Let's
because that's
go.
the first one I wrote. And her story and what she had to say in that documentary. Why don't you kick us off?
So Danielle was the Cycle 6 winner. She was the person with the infamous gap. You ever think you can get a cover girl contract with this like this girl? And listen, this quote lives rent free in my house, and it won't clump. Tyra kept saying that shit, referring to the cover girl commercial.
Hmm.
She's a beautiful girl. She's even more stunning now.
I
But
know. Wow.
they actually did orthodontic dental surgery on the show. And she refused at first, but Tyra basically told her, if I
We're
let
gonna
you,
eliminate you.
if I keep you, will you close your gap? So she kind of met in the middle, and they slightly closed it, not fully. It was nothing like what Joni had going on. And people remember too, this was a time where this was happening on other shows. Like Fox had a show called The Swan, and they were doing complete plastic surgery makeovers on people. If you've never
Oh,
heard of it,
gee.
look it up. It was crazy, but
Yeah.
it's what was happening at the time. And
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure somebody did tell Tyra she ain't gonna make it with this gap. I'm pretty sure that was in the conversation, and she black too. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that is
I
Danny
just
Evans.
yeah, and I thought that was interesting because going back, like, okay, I actually felt bad for her because I'm like, yeah, she looked fine with the gap. Okay, shit. Like,
Yeah,
I had a really close friend that had a little cute gap in her teeth.
yeah,
It wasn't bad, and it wasn't even that bad of a little bit gap. Like, let her.
yeah,
Okay, she don't win. Sure, whatever.
yeah,
At least she gets the exposure.
yeah.
But there was two girls that got their teeth done. One actually needed it. You know what I mean? Because her shit was fucked up.
Yeah, baby, that was a
Joni, her teeth was fucked up. Okay. But the
baby.
one thing about that is that with Joni's case, I mean, they had her. I remember she was just like writhing in pain for like a
Hmm.
whole night. She was all fucked up, and then she had to go back because
Yeah,
they kind of like they wore her out to the point where like, all
yeah,
right, well, she need to stay alive. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And then she went back to like, look at my face.
Oh,
Oh.
she was all in the camera, but and people don't realize, they probably didn't know it at the time. But a procedure like that is not just all one and done. You have to go
No.
back multiple times and get fitted and all the things. You know.
Yeah, they just went and just started ripping her teeth out of her fucking
Yeah,
head and then left her like that and then made her go to a photo shoot like pretty much right after that.
but
And from what it sounded like, they kind of left her uh to her own devices after the show to like it wasn't like done properly. It was done
well,
like haphazardly.
well, there probably was no medical follow up. She probably couldn't afford it. We don't even know if she had an actual dentist at home or even had insurance.
Yeah.
But we do have to remember also too, we have to be careful of saying force, because there was choice. They could have said no and clocked the fuck out at any time. But
Yeah.
kind of one of those things, how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
You know, which is
Yeah,
unfortunate,
Lauren
but that's the
Hutton.
business. Yeah.
Lauren Hutton Marley brought her up. She had a gap in her teeth, and
Yeah.
her pictures was all black and white and shit. So like, but yeah, back to Danielle. So they closed her gap. Tell me why? And I forgot about this. They opened up somebody's gap a few seasons later.
I don't see. I think that's the season I missed, because when I saw that on the doc, I was just like, "Oh, that was shady."
Like,
I was
they
ready
were
to hell
like,
back
what
then.
we're gonna do? We're gonna open up your gap and make it look a little bit more edgy. So they went back a few seasons later after they had this big old problem with the damn gap, and then literally shaved down somebody else's teeth to open up her gap.
Well, Marley, when I say choice, like, I mean, if you stand it on business, if you're firm in your beliefs, then what's more important, that or being on the show? I mean,
Right.
she did what she had to do, or felt at the time what she had to do to win. So when I
And she
say,
did win.
and she did win. So when I say it was her choice, I mean, she didn't have to do it. She could have just gave it up. It's unfortunate those were the circumstances that she was presented with.
Yeah.
Because in most situations, you do have a choice, but it's like, what am I giving up? You know?
Right. And so let's go into her actually winning and what we found out in the documentary. Do you remember this part about how she couldn't get no work in the model apartments with Iman and all them, and because of her reality TV association, and so they wouldn't give her work. And then Tyra called her 15 years later saying, "Oh, she knew that was going to happen, didn't do shit about it."
Yeah, I guess in essence, she was, I guess you could say, blackballed by the industry, out of out of her control. Just that reality show stigma.
Mm-hmm.
For for a long time, I don't think they took a lot of them seriously. But you know, it's one of those things. Even Adrienne, she had a whole thing back in the day where she wasn't taken seriously because of the show.
Right.
But I also think too, they have to realize, yeah, you won the show, but you still got to get out there and put in the work.
Yeah.
Even if you were a working model outside of being on a TV show, you're still gonna get a lot of no's. You still gonna have to pound the pavement and do what you got to do, because there was no social media and shit back there. You was literally dropping off headshots in people's mailboxes, you know. So
Right. 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 Right.
the times do make a big difference. Not making an excuse, but it's valid.
My only thing is, and we'll get into this when we start talking about Tyra.
We'll get into it, boo. Don't worry,
We'll get into this when we start
Marty.
talking about Tyra, because this is something I noticed that happened over and over and over again
Yeah.
when it came to Tyra and her behavior. But I like, lady, if you knew then, and if you knew that this was gonna be a situation, and Danielle wasn't the only winner of America's Next Top Model that we ain't never heard from ever again.
Yeah.
Actually, most of the people that didn't win were the ones that were more successful because
Yeah.
maybe they didn't have that stigma. They got the
Yeah.
exposure and then they
Yeah.
didn't win and didn't get all that. And so they maybe they were able to slip through the cracks a little bit easier. You know what I mean?
I think it's like most things, everybody not gonna make it. You know,
Hmm.
like Takara was in Vogue. She was in French Vogue. Like everybody, it's some models that are modeling now that can't say that. So it's just, some of it is luck, some of it is grind, some of it is
Yeah.
privilege and position. You know.
Yeah, and just doing your work. I get
Yeah.
you, but I what and we'll get into this again when it comes to Tyra, but she literally called her 15 years later. It was like, oh well, I knew
Yeah.
that. So if you knew
Yeah.
that, then if your
Yeah.
whole kind of thing is to get these girls and support them,
Yeah.
then okay, and you start to realize, okay, none of these bitches is even fucking like being
Yeah.
getting nowhere, then maybe do something about it. Like, be like, okay, maybe I should start my own modeling agency. Maybe I should do something where I can make sure they can get work, or do the Tyra Banks Fashion Week or something. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Where they can
Yeah.
participate and intermingle with other people. There's ways to get around that, but what Tyra seemed to have been doing this entire time is just like cutting bitches off and not saying shit, not even addressing nobody, just like
Yeah.
walking off and ghosting people like left and right. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that is something that I noticed happened multiple times throughout this documentary from the experiences that we heard, you know?
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
seemed like Danny, she looked great. They
Yeah.
all was looking good. She seemed like she's doing fine, but um, I can see how
One
you feel betrayed and hurt by that, especially after
I
you done closed my gap and all this bullshit.
Yeah, I can trust me. I definitely get that. It's one of those. I think for a lot of them, it was maybe like an unspoken thing. You know, once I get done, Tyra gonna be there for me. You know, if I need help, production gonna be there for me, and that just wasn't in place for them, unfortunately.
Right.
I think also too, it became more about putting on a show than actually giving them the real feel in the real world of modeling. Because Miss J said that as well. You know, the later seasons, it stopped being about the behind the scenes of the modeling world, and just they started putting them in these crazy situations that wouldn't likely happen.
Ooh,
And
girl, we
all
gonna get into that.
and all that was just for TV and ratings. So I'm with you
Oh,
on
well,
that
we gonna get into the craziness of it.
one. Yeah.
Okay, so our next, we talked about Joni. She got her teeth. Was Joni runner up for season 6 before we move on?
She was.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, cool.
Listen, DJ, there would be no Drag Race without Top Model and Project Runway, because it started out as a parody of both of those shows. So, you
Yeah.
know, yeah, it was fucked up, but the show did change the landscape, and it opened up a lot of opportunities, and it did give people platforms that normally wouldn't have that. You know what I'm saying? So we got to give them
Okay.
their flowers when we cuss them out too.
So we talked about Danielle. We hit on Joni because they were in the same season and they had the teeth thing. I guess they was just addicted to fucking up people's teeth in that one.
That was the first time. We hadn't seen that before.
I know, right? Let's
Child.
talk about Shandy and Kenya. So let's talk about Shandy. I remember watching this. What was Shandy, season 2 or 3?
She was season 2.
Okay. I remember watching this. I was very young and being confused about the whole thing. I felt so bad for her. I actually really liked Shandy when I was kind of rooting for her. I really liked all the pictures in Milan and everything. One thing I will say before we get going, when I said I did not recognize her until they put her name under, under her in the doc, I was like, oh shit, is that her? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. She looked different because she was twig thin, very mousy. She looked like a completely different person. If they didn't put her name under there, I wouldn't know who the fuck she was.
Well, what was beautiful about Shandy was you got to see her become she was becoming that girl. That last photo shoot when they were in Milan, that picture still holds up. It is stunning.
Yeah, it is. It was, oh man. And I just remember really rooting for her because she's just started off all mousy and weird and you know what I mean? And unfortunately that happened. And I remember feeling disturbed the first time I fucking watched it. Even as a young girl, I knew something was wrong here. And I knew that reality TV was the way that it was. I wasn't ever surprised by the extraordinary over dramatization of things. I was aware of, it was the same time when Jersey Shore was out, that might have been even a little later, but what was that Paris Hilton one, Bad Girls Club, all that shit.
The Simple Life.
Yes, all that just drama. That was the time, right? As they keep to say. But I knew something was wrong here because they had this, and Shandy, she was 18 when this happened, because you couldn't be younger.
It was maybe 18, 19, 20, around there.
Yeah, couldn't have been any older than that because they barely even let you be on the damn show if you were old, and then or they would just make a whole narrative about how old and crusty you are at 23. But that what did you think about that, and the way that she told her story finally, because they really co-opted her whole story, the whole narrative, did not protect her, and she ended up being attacked in one of the most awful ways on television.
So the Shandy part of it is the part of the doc that really just kind of, I probably say it was the darkest part of it for me. I think it was the gut punch for everybody, because I remember watching that episode in real time, growing up, and at that time, I guess maybe being young, to us, the audience is just like she drunk too much and she cheated on her dude, and the show kind of went with that narrative, and that's been the narrative for the past,
They
20 some
literally named it
years.
"The Girl Who Cheated." I remember, like
Yeah, that I probably say that's the most fucked up of the doc for me
yeah,
because you know, Tyra and the judges and everything aside, production was there. They were.
yeah,
I questioned the other girls that were there too. Like, damn, y'all see this girl is inebriated. Inebriated. Why aren't y'all having her back? It was like nobody in production, outside of production, was there for her and had her back.
yeah,
Like even if I didn't know you and we were in the same space and I can see something is off about you, I'm be like, hey, you okay? No, 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 but we're not doing
yeah.
production. Cut the cameras, but it's like nobody's
Nobody did that.
saying. And I think that made her not say anything because she probably felt like really alone and she just
Yeah, and
went.
she was it seemed like they convinced her at the time that she was in the wrong there, that she did the wrong thing, even though she couldn't remember
Yeah,
anything that really went down. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They really, in a way, I remember because she was like, I was so sorry about it. Oh, I cheated on him. Da, 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 da. I'm like, girl,
Uh-uh.
like, no, you weren't even able to remember what even went down in that
Yeah.
situation. And you know who is able to remember? The people that recorded the whole shit from beginning to fucking end. And they
Yeah.
could have told you exactly what happened, but they didn't. And then they got Tyra's ass sitting on a freaking bonfire talking about, oh, well, just don't cheat, Sandy.
That was fucked up. Now that was fucked up. That times aside, language and all that aside, like some things go without saying. Like
Right,
if you see somebody being hurt or taken advantage of in distress, your first instinct should be to help that person.
right,
Production can wait. No,
right,
I'm not gonna let this strange ass dude, molest or rape or however you want to phrase this girl.
right.
And my thing also too is it's like she didn't even tell her boyfriend after the show, according to what she said, because she said they tried to make it work, but he was still convinced that she cheated on him. And
Right,
even the way the doc framed it for me, like they just kind of alluded to it. They didn't just flat out say what it was. Like
right, right, right,
that shit,
right.
and that was fucked up for the doc to do too. I mean, if you're gonna showcase it, if you're gonna tell her story, then keep it raw, keep it real, and say what happened.
Saying
Don't
what
sugarcoat.
happened. And then Tyra went like
Very
this.
wrong.
They were like, oh, so do you remember Shandy's story? And she goes, Shandy?
I agree.
Huh? Huh?
Yeah,
Shandy? I don't know.
yeah,
Oh, I don't know anybody
yeah.
named Shandy. What? Chandelier? Was that her name?
Not shit. Not Chandelier.
Like,
But
bitch, you
but
know that bitch. You know her. Like, come on now, dog.
but you know what? I think Tyra came ready to talk about stuff, but she also came with a wall up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
she had a. It wasn't everybody's defensive posture is different, and I think hers is aloof. You know what I'm saying? Because it came across like she cared, but it was just like, well, girl, that's how it came
Hmm.
across.
Shandy, I don't know. She was more like concerned about other mistakes that she made more than somebody actually being essayed on your freaking show
Yeah.
on camera and nobody
I'm
in your position. And can I put in one thing that was always looming in the back of my head about this whole thing with her is that Elite Models was run by Orange Man at the time and with
Mhm.
all these people. And so and then I just noticed that there's pictures with Naomi Campbell and Virginia Giuffre with Prince Andrew and shit. And
Yeah,
so
they were in her book.
Yeah, and so I'm like, that's something that we need to like also clock in, because they at the time, elite models and all these, that they were winning prizes for elite models.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah.
And so looking back at that, I'm like, oh my God, like where are we going here with
Yeah,
this?
some of the agents and agencies that were in line with Epstein and all that definitely need to be looked at, because a lot of that was them recruiting on the cool. And
Right,
and to take it back to Shandy a little bit more, when you brought up Virginia, it made me remember that she was at that party with all these famous grown ass industry people, visibly looking like a little girl,
right,
and nobody said anything. Nobody did nothing. Just like with Shandy, nobody did nothing. They just
right,
allowed it to happen, and that's the fucked up nature of some people. You know,
right.
it's why we are where we at in this country now. You know,
Yeah.
part of
And we just kept, oh, this is normal. Like it was a normalized
yeah,
thing. I don't that's something that kept looming in the back of my mind, because like they were like elite models, and we've been hearing a lot about that recently with these files
yeah,
coming out, and I was like,
yeah,
oh my God, how dark was this really? How fucked up was this really? Because that whole does Tyra know some shit? Was she
yeah.
abused in some way? I mean, come on now. But that's a
that, that
whole
that's a
nother.
whole nother show. Because at this point, baby, at this point, all things are possible. It's really not too much off the table, because there's so much shit that happens that we don't know or still haven't solved.
Right. Exactly. And we do have another documentary coming out like mid month of March, through a whole
Yeah,
through somebody
Jaslene is
else.
in that one. Jaslene is in
Kathleen's
that
in
one.
that one.
Yeah, she recently said that's why she wasn't a part of this one, because she had already done that one, so she
Oh, okay,
couldn't
yeah.
talk
And
about it.
then Lisa is in that one too.
Oh, that's the
So
one Lisa.
I'm excited to see who else is gonna be in it.
Yeah,
And notably, a lot of the a lot of the models don't have the same experience. They did
yeah,
have different experiences
yeah.
that and there was a lot of them. I mean, there what? How many people did they choose? Every 12 models or 8 models?
It, between 12 and 14, we got to remember this is an experience of a select few. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you have, it was what, 2 cycles a year. That's a lot of girls
Yeah,
to
yeah.
have
Oh,
this kind of condensed small group. You know, everybody's experience wasn't the same. Takara just said this in an interview, a
yeah.
couple days, you
And we're
know.
gonna bring that up, so don't worry.
Yeah.
That's in here. Okay, let's talk about Kenya a little bit, because and Whitney, Kenya and Whitney, because of course during that time there was like the heroin kind of uh like look, or
Heroin
you gotta
chic.
heroin chic, where yes, also, and that's why I brought up Kenya as well. But you had to be like deathly looking Voldemort thin to,
Yeah.
like be even considered, even looked at.
Well,
And
they
Kenya
wanted you.
was she started I think she started gaining a little weight, I guess,
Yeah.
during the middle of the like during the competition or whatever. And so they kept doing things specifically to make her look or just like they edited her out to look like she was just stuffing her face with bagels and pizza and bread and all sorts
Yeah.
of shit. And then Tyra was talking to her like, oh well, you can just take the and Janice Dickinson, don't even get me started with that bitch. We'll get to her.
I got a love-hate relationship with her.
But and yes, Whitney Thompson is the first uh plus size winner. Wasn't the first plus size model, but winner, and she went through
Yeah.
a whole thing, and she ain't even. Oh my god, she's just
I
regular
mean,
size
I
looking.
mean, if you look at Ashley Graham now, it's pretty much the same. Ashley Graham is fucking stunning, but I
Right.
think, but I think especially back then, you had to be in a box. If you were plus size, you have to be all plus sizes, no in the
Right.
middle. If you stick thin, you got to be stick thin. There was no medium or in
There was
between.
no medium. No. And
Yeah, and
so what they would do though, they would edit the show and make a narrative about you. And so the narrative for Kenya ended up being that she's this fat slob who's not taking care of her body. And then they kept doing things like they had this photo shoot where they were the
the seven deadly sins.
seven deadly sins, and she was giving gluttony and with a whole bunch of donuts or
Yeah.
whatever. And then literally I remember this literally happening. The next episode they went to South Africa because I think they were the top
Mm-hmm.
six or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a photo shoot where they made her be an elephant
Mm-hmm.
out of the safari animals.
That's I think around that time is when production started kind of doing that whole narrative storytelling shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
some because I mean she may have picked up a little weight. Hell, she was probably stress eating because I gotta imagine that's a stressful environment. You're around all these hoes that you don't know. Y'all living
Right.
in one house. It's probably funky in there. Your nerves bad. You missing home. So I get it. I'll be stress eating too and make gain a
Right.
few pounds. And you on camera, so that's going to intensify it too.
Right.
But
Exactly.
that, but
So
it shouldn't. But it shouldn't have been highlighted as a story point. You know what I'm saying? Unless it was a situation where she was going to win, or they was going to show like a rise and a fall or whatever. But they,
right.
they were just basically calling her fat, and she was nowhere near fat or even plus size.
Not at all. Not at all. At
Yeah,
all.
and stuff like that can give somebody body dysmorphia if they don't
Hmm.
have a
That's what
strong
happened
enough
with the
system.
girl Giselle, I think, or like at least mildly, where she just felt, as a young girl, she had to really work to not internalize that the way
Hmm.
that they put it on her. Because what they
Yeah,
do, they eliminate you. They don't even give you no therapy, nothing. They just be like, hey, we abused you.
yeah,
Bye.
yeah,
Like at least be like, that was just for show. The least we could do is we didn't mean it. Da, 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 you know what I mean? Here, the least we could do is make sure that you get a job somewhere, even if it's in like a regular print thing, or just give you some therapy so you don't like internalize that forever for the
yeah,
rest of your life, and you sitting here as a grown ass woman when some shit happened 20 years ago. But that
yeah,
it's on TV and you're being humiliated and you're being like
yeah,
told a story that isn't really true. And
yeah.
so yeah, like
Cause,
I get why that can
cause,
fuck you up.
because it's one thing to have to deal with that. If you're an actual model, you have to deal with that in real life in front of people going to different agencies because I'm sure that shit happens and it probably still happens. But to have that magnified on TV in perpetuity, like that can fuck with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A regular person that would mess with. You know.
Yeah. And then lastly about Kenya, she also went through some sexual harassment
Yeah.
during a photo shoot. I remember that very clearly and was actually really pissed off because like she was like, I feel uncomfortable. This dude is moaning and fucking touching me and y'all sitting here and I said something about it and y'all
Yeah.
was like, oh, get over it. And
And
then
Jay
they
was
did
sitting right
it again to
there.
her. They did it again. They didn't do that once. They did that twice. They could have looked at that photo shoot. They could have asked that motherfucker, excuse me,
Yeah.
we had a complaint. We wanted to pull you over the side and ask what's going on here. But
Yeah.
they didn't do none of that, you know?
Any one of those men that were on that set could have pulled homeboy to the side and be like, "Hey, you need to calm down, bro. You clearly making her uncomfortable," or just took him out the shoot completely.
Completely.
Because
He didn't even need to be in there.
and kudos for her for actually being strong enough to actually speak up and advocate for herself because some people would have just went with it and been uncomfortable because not everybody has the language or has that confidence to be like, hey, we're not doing
Hmm.
this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I didn't like that. But again, that was another part of like the lack of accountability, the lack
Yeah.
of even like care. They just were just sending these people out and doing whatever with them just to get their ratings when people, I mean, these bitches is getting sick. shivering, getting hypothermia, passing out in the middle of the damn judging because they're not feeding them, all sorts of shit. Like they did not give a fuck
Yeah.
about the safety of the people that they're inviting onto their home.
Something that I want to reply back to what Marley just said. And you're absolutely right, Boo, because this is like they normalized something that wasn't right or normal. Like just because it's something that happens in the modeling world doesn't mean that's
Mhm.
right. Just
Right.
because something it can happen 99 times, but that still don't make it right. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that's the
And
part that's the part I'm sorry, but that's the part that pissed me off. Is it's like you got all these men around just sitting up there allowing it. Jay, your ass included.
and yes, indeed. And they're like, now that we know what type of people the owners of these places really were,
Right.
that I have
Hello.
even more reason to be concerned.
That should give you more pause.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I don't know how long ago they filmed all these little interviews, but you would think they would have some awareness of the type of shit that they about to get caught up in if you don't actually stand up and say, no, this is what the fuck was actually happening.
Because even with this doc, like I'm somebody who does editing, so I can kind of clock shit. Some of the answers for stuff were the same answers for different things. It
Yeah.
was I noticed that shit throughout the doc. Like it would be the same scene or the same exact answer for different things. And that's
They
fucked up too.
they edited that shit the same way that they did. It must have been the same producers.
Hello.
Shit.
Like
Must have been the
like we never
same
noticed.
team.
Child, I clock everything, and I definitely clocked that. I was just like, child, he just said that, or she just said that about the exact same thing. It was the
Right.
exact same thing about a different scene.
Right.
But we dumb.
That's a
Yeah.
mess. That's a
Oh.
mess. That is a mess. Okay, so we got through those people. We don't really need. Oh, can we touch on Ebony real quick though? For real,
Oh yeah.
I forgot about
Yeah.
her.
I forgot
They
about Ebony.
did do that shit.
My thing with Ebony is like, how you fuck up a haircut, like a fade? How do you fuck up a fade? Like
Right.
it could have, and you know, I forgot who was making the excuse. Was Tyra didn't know nothing about that kind of hair. She wore weaves. Shit, black. Tyra been black all her life. She done seen niggas get fades. Like
Right.
it's like, if you don't have people there that specialize in black hair care or have a hell, Kim Kimble had a whole damn show and she had a barber. You could have easily got a proper barber to come in there and fix and cut that lady's hair. That was fucked up on
Or
production
don't
part.
touch it if you ain't gonna have nobody to fucking do it right.
Right. That was fucked up on production part, and Tyra damn show dropped the ball on that shit because she damn show should have knew better. And yes, Ebony's skin was flawless then and it's beautiful now. Just chocolate. They told her baby she was
Oh, your
ashy. That was
skin's
fucked up.
rough, and then they had all the other girls talking about, oh, you're getting all everything all greasy. Uh,
Girl. Girl.
And like they had her over moisturizer. I'm like, she don't need all that oil and stuff. Like she's fine.
Like I'm the kind of person, if I got a booger in my nose, if I'm ashy, please tell me. But don't put me on
Please.
blast about it. Don't put me on
Right.
blast about it. You
Cause
know,
you all
like
you gotta do is put on some lotion. That takes like fucking 3 seconds. Like, oh shit, my
all,
elbow's ashy. All right, let me get it.
all
Okay,
you have
let's
to be like
it
off
doesn't
camera,
have to
girl.
be it doesn't have to be a
Off,
whole episode on the fucking show.
no, off camera, girl. Make sure you hit them elbows. Now they was a little white today. I just want to let you know. It's real simple. Off camera, 2 seconds. Get your Vaseline or whatever you use and grease up for camera time.
Right. Make sure you take the nice shower, you exfoliate, and then you
All the things.
pop in.
All the
Skin beautiful.
things.
I don't know what that was about, but that was the first season. And then they outed her for extremely
Yeah.
racist. They did
For
out
being
her being LGBTQ.
yeah. Eh, that's something I feel like now you would have to get kind of consent for because
Hmm.
I get yeah she probably put it on her application or whatever, but that's personal, that's private, that's for me to tell. That's not for
Yeah.
you or anybody else to tell. So yeah, I didn't like that part at all. Now when I seen her back in the day, I knew I was like lesbian in my mind when I saw,
It's
but
like we all knew.
we knew, but just because we all knew that don't mean you have a right to tell my tea before
Oh.
I do.
Yeah,
What if
no, and
what
then
what if my
the way
mama
that
ain't never
that lady Robin and that other lady was teaching. Oh well, I don't know if I can be in the same room or look at you anymore.
girl, we'll go home. How
Then
about
don't look
that?
over here or be in the same room. Then I don't know what to tell you. Like
I
what?
don't want you. I don't want you. That's the problem. I think every gay
Right.
person wants this girl. I don't want you. I got a whole
Actually,
woman
I'm
heart to
trying to
offer.
win this competition. If you feel that uncomfortable, you could take your ass home right the fuck now. Make my job
Okay.
easy.
Expeditiously.
Yeah.
Expeditiously.
Yeah,
No,
this will be
ma'am.
over in a few days if you just get up
Flat.
and get to market marching. Ain't nobody
Because
was even trying to tell you about. I don't even want you. Ew.
yeah. Cause I'm like, I'm assuming what they used to film, like maybe what, 10, 11, 12 weeks or something like that.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Damn,
could have
that's a
been up
long
on
time.
out of here trying to win the whole thing. Okay, so that was like, and then
Right.
you had Giselle with the wide ass. She just added. We are kind of touched on her. I didn't really like
Would
her. I still
would
don't.
that have bothered you as a
Like,
woman? Would that have bothered you? Because the way, yeah, that would have been a compliment.
that was like one of the last people I wanted to hear from America's
Yeah,
Next Top Model contestants. I always thought she
yeah.
was kind of annoying and then also like a nothing burger. I think she got like eliminated first or second.
It was kind of like, well, girl, we couldn't get nobody else called Giselle. She ain't doing nothing. That's what it was giving. Because
She's
her,
doing real estate. I'm sure she can find some time.
they all do real estate, child.
I, I know. I noticed that. Okay, so let us know what you guys think about that first segment and the people in there. That I thought that was interesting. We're gonna go ahead and boost right over into our three judges, but before we do that, make sure your drinks are refilled. You're warm or not too warm, not too cold, or whatever.
And y'all better be
Like,
hitting that like button. Run
subscribe.
them
Yes.
hearts up.
Thank you, and let a friend know that we're here. And
Clip us for the TikTok.
indeed, because we just here. We're just fans of the show, and
We
we are
just
concerned.
No, I'm listen. I listen. I am a fan. I don't agree with everything that happened, and I'm sure in a different time it would have been probably slightly better. But I'm sure because even the reality shows now, we saw they had the whole housewife debacle takedown and all that shit going on with that.
Oh my
So
god!
yeah, if people are more armed and prepared for it now. Because
Hmm.
a lot of people are just thirsty now. They want their 15 minutes, however they can get it. That's why they go on
Right.
these shows.
Like at least before then, we didn't even really have the ability to communicate and share information about things.
Nothing.
So if you on a reality TV show now these days, yo
Yeah.
ass, we your ass is desperate, and we know your ass is
The
desperate.
child, we had to go on the message boards back then. There wasn't no Facebook or no Instagram, nothing like that. We was on the AOL dial up,
Right.
and everybody ain't had no home internet.
Yeah. Oh, I had to go to the library or your friend's house, okay,
That your
and
friend with a
get
little
on
money.
LimeWire real quick
Not
and
the line.
upload onto your iPod,
The
okay.
child, I'm telling Lime gonna put me in jail. I can stole so much shit from them. Uh, allegedly.
Yeah. All right. So let's go. Let's talk about the big three judges. Okay.
Let's do
talk.
it.
Let's talk.
Look at
Okay.
Sherry. Look at Sherry.
I had no idea who this lady was until this
You don't know
documentary.
Sherry Shepherd?
And yeah, no, I didn't know. I guess she took over from Wendy. Is that what happened?
Well, she's a comedian. She's been in movies. Like, she was on The View for a long time, and
Okay,
then
that's she's in movies. Okay, that's why she looks
yeah,
familiar.
she was on like different TV shows like Jamie Foxx back in the day, and she did
Yeah,
comedy.
her face looks familiar. I guess I didn't
Yeah,
know her name. You know what I mean?
yeah. But she was
Okay.
on The View for a long time too.
Okay. All right. Well, here she is with the. So we have Nigel Barker here in the
Hey,
middle,
Nige.
Mr. J Manuel, and we have Miss J Alexander here, and then this is Sherry here. So let's go ahead and play a little bit of this. Mm.
Well, no sound.
Yeah, we don't have any sound. I think it's muted right there. Hold on, we got Katie in the background doing our stuff, but yeah, we
K,
are.
K, K to K on the ones and twos.
We don't know what to do. She's fixing it for us. No problem. We waiting. But
No problem.
yes, let's try it again. Let's see. There we go.
Okay.
Oh my God, you can't take away the love that they have for you all. Miss J, how you feel knowing everybody just that love is just there and as strong as ever?
I mean,
Project.
it's emotional.
Yeah. Most definitely. You know, everybody is talking about this documentary. It is like I don't think it's on everybody's lips. And it has been 14 years since you all left Top Model. Wow, 14 years. And I know it's like it was yesterday, but then I ask all of you, I'll start with you, Nigel. Why did you feel it was important to share your story right now?
I quote someone, it's time. No, I mean, realistically, it is time. I mean, it is 20 plus years since we started the show.
Yeah.
It had a huge resurgence during the pandemic. People watched it almost more so then than they even did when they watched it originally. And they watched it with new eyes, fresh eyes, eyes of today. And so there was a lot of new judgment and what have you. I've got two children who are, one's 20, one's 17. And when they see the sort of things that were said and done back then, they completely wouldn't fly today.
Right.
As dad, you're explaining what and how, all the things, right? But at the same time, you're sort of trying to also let them look at it with sort of kindness, and the same way as if you look at yourself in a picture of your hairstyle from the 80s, you're like, I would never do that, and you're like, well, but be kind to yourself.
Give that a pause there.
And
Katie.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you think about that? I understand what he's saying and everything, but what do you think about Nigel in the doc and like kind of with this whole kind of PR tour or whatever they're doing now? What do you think about, and what did you think about Nigel like during the show?
Nigel was probably the most tame in tone in terms of like throwing shade and reading. I feel like there was probably times where he may have been able to step in or speak up or defend more, but of all the judges, he wasn't the worst. Like his critiques were probably more valid because he was a model, he was a photographer, and yes, Marley, he was fine, still is, a little Sri Lankan, but I just feel like they taking accountability, but they still making excuses. And if you're gonna, they were all complicit. They were all complicit. All four of them, and any other judge that was on the show, whether it was Kelly Catrone, Janice, all of them, because they all played a role, they all played a part. They ain't got no scripts. They ain't been told what to say, as far as we know. They just giving their honest opinion, just like we're doing right now, based on what they see in front of them. The first thing that comes to mind, that's pretty much what they said.
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody mentioned, I forgot what I was watching, why didn't Nigel say anything about some of the crazy photo shoots that they did, but I don't know if he necessarily had any input or control over anything. They just had to do it because even Miss J, Jay Manuel said that he lost creative control at a certain point. He just showed up, said his spiel, gave the direction that he could, and it was what it was.
Yeah, and it was mostly an on-camera thing. Other than that, he just kind of stood back and just like did that. We gotta talk about him for a little bit, but yeah, for Nigel, first of all, I really liked Nigel. I'm always more like the type of person that like appreciates when people are somewhat respectful. You know what I mean? And actually, and he was their photographer.
I agree, boss lady.
And so like they had him as their photographer. He was on set with them, and he, you know, was trying to help them out as best as he could. You know, he would have his little moments and stuff, but he was the most kind of like level-headed when it comes to respect.
He never went too far.
He never went to a place where I was like, that was shady. But yeah, but he skirted around he didn't answer any questions to me. It was like a very meek apology, if that, and a lot of just like, kind of passing on responsibility. They was like playing ping pong or something with like questions. So they would just ask somebody the same question, and then they would be like, oh, well, and then they would cut to somebody else. And you know what I mean? They never answered any questions ever.
It wasn't, I think what we were expecting was like more of real talk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what you would think if you called a reality check.
Hello. I wish it was more of a situation where like at the end of the doc, it was a segment that they had some of the girls in the room with Tyra or with the Jays and Nigel, and just let those girls really say what they gotta say and allow them to apologize to them in that format.
Right.
That would have been more impactful.
Right.
To me.
I thought they were gonna finally do that, or I was like, maybe they're gonna do like another one at like Reality Check Part 2 or something. It just felt incomplete to me. If that makes sense.
Like Marley just said in the chat, it's like a lawyer told him what to say and what not to say, and it was given like, I'm gonna say this, but I'm gonna only say so much, and that's because they don't want to implicate themselves too much. But honey, all we gotta do is run back the tape.
The tape. You filmed it all. You filmed it all. We see it.
You have said it. Okay, top models from 180 countries. Everybody done seen it.
Yeah. All right, let's see what Mr. J Manuel. First of all, can I just say, he's my favorite out of all the judges, I think.
We know.
Yeah, I love Mr. J. He still looked good. But you know, I have my gripes with him now, but like for the most part, he was my favorite out of all the judges and the people there. I just like loved him and was so excited to see him. You know what I mean? So let's see what he has to say about him and Tyra.
Oh Lord.
And have a conversation, a bigger conversation. This was never about this documentary. I just want to be very clear. We signed on because this was supposed to be a celebration and a conversation, not a tear down piece. I don't think Tyra should be vilified at all. And quite the contrary. I mean, I saw your show last week. Your passion was infectious. That is why I stood next to her and said, yes, I'll help you start this show. As a Black woman, and I had seen her fight in the fashion industry, which was ruthless. It's changing. Is it great yet? No. And so that is why we stood by her and wanted to do that show with her.
And so I love that you're coming now to share your story. And Miss J, you're talking now, and I love the side eyes and the looks. We get that. Oh my God!
We still got it.
This is like a yummy meal that you haven't had in a long time. Now, Jay. So you are also sharing your side of the story. Why do you feel it's important now?
Well, it's important now to share and to say, I don't speak English.
You may not speak English, but that face is everything.
The face has always said everything.
You know,
granted, it's mistakes are being made, or have been made, and but I was only there for the model Cheech.
Yes.
And then the judging. I have had experience that this guy's had yet. But who knows?
Come on now.
Are you trying to throw us under the bus? Is that what that was?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Come on now.
He can be shady even with just a few words.
Even with
I like
friends. You know, one thing that I think a lot of the fans noticed,
Hold
Mr.
on.
J, was
Let it
your
run, Katie.
strained relationship with Tyra. You guys have been friends. Like you said, you came on the show. You've worked with Tyra. You were really good friends. I'm trying to figure out, where did it all go wrong between you two?
You know, for me, again, and I know a lot of people are just learning that I actually left the show after Cycle 8. I think the documentary makes it quite clear. I didn't have any options on my contract. I wanted to leave on really great terms. I wrote Tyra, we had a pact where she said, let's never go through our people. Let's never do that. Let's just always communicate one-on-one, which I did. I honored that. And I said to her, I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I'm so glad that I could stand next to you and launch this with you. But as you've supported me and said, hey, you need to go do other things, I'm going to focus on those things. And again, I've never really even gotten that answer back, because it was just a shutdown. And I just got that one email that said, I am disappointed. And the documentary shows what ultimately happened. And long story short, the network asked if I could come and do one cycle because they couldn't find a replacement for me. And then that was a very strained relationship, because she wouldn't talk to me when the cameras weren't rolling. And today, still to this day, that really hurts, because, you know, I again, when I watch this documentary, we see prepared television Tyra, and I know the real woman. I know her struggles. I know what she has fought in this industry. That's why I really felt your passion. And we've had many, many private one-on-one conversations, and all of those conversations will remain private forever.
Right.
People ask me all the time. I have nothing bad to say about her, but I have to be honest about the journey that I went through on that show. And the difficulty for me, it really started around that race shoot. We just saw it in the trailer.
Right,
the race swapping shoot.
where they changed everybody's race.
I'm glad you said that. Thank you, because I hear
we'll
every
get into
day.
that in just a little bit. There's something I am not buying about this.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, if we're such great friends and we're in business together, I wouldn't send you an email. I would come over. I would call you. I would try to go to dinner. I would have an actual conversation, not sending an email. Because before that, you know, they were, from what we know, on good terms. So this your bestie, this your ride or die. This is, you know, almost like a business partner. Y'all started this thing together. I would have a sit down, a one-on-one outside of production, just me and you, because they were saying they were always at each other's houses, etc. Spend a lot of personal time together. So why not have that one-on-one, express your concerns?
Yeah,
that would have made more sense to me. I would have been pissed.
That's a great way to put it. And, you know, I definitely thought about that side as well. Like, okay, maybe if you really wanted that real conversation, you should have done it in person, since you have that connection. But my only thing is, okay, there might have been a few things that could have gone in here. Maybe they weren't in vicinity of each other at the time because of, you know what I mean? Things like that. She doing something else, you doing something else. They in different countries. They're booked and busy. Sure. Okay. And so maybe he didn't even do that initially wrong or right in the first. So, but why did she take so long to reply? And with that one little answer, and then so after that, he ends up, you know, staying there for not only that one season, but like for like another
it's like 8, 9 more. Yeah.
So was he really trying to get out of there? And so y'all just wasn't talking for 9 more cycles?
It's definitely
that is just
definitely more to it. It's definitely more to it. And then I'm just curious, you know, it's more to it. And I say that because Tyra won't talk about it. Like
but she won't talk about anything. She won't talk about anybody.
That in particular, she just wouldn't, you know.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm like, I kind of am more inclined to believe Jay, because at least he's been Jay Manuel, because he's been a little bit more open and at least a little bit more transparent, and also protecting her, like not trying to implicate her or anything, but like being like, well, this is what happened. This is how I felt. And honestly, I could kind of tell that he don't even know what's going through her mind. You know what I mean? Because she hasn't took any time to even care to come and talk to him about anything. That just seems really weird to me. And that's where I was like, oh, Tyra is not the person that I thought she may have been, you know?
Well, that's why, I mean, that's why you can't, even in your everyday life, you can't really build people up too much, because that's when you get disappointed. And he has his side. I'm sure she has her side. At the it's definitely more to it even than what he's probably telling us to. Don't be fooled.
It seemed like he's still trying to protect her in a weird way. That's a feeling I'm getting. But also, she doesn't have any side. She keeps deflecting and like not even really engaging with anything, and that's the weird part that's making me not feel uncomfortable around her.
And I feel like Miss J over there knows all the tea, because it's like you can feel that he knows pretty much probably everything, but just doesn't say it or won't say it, which is to me is pointless. Like, if you're not going to be open, honest, and transparent, then why are you here too? Other than talking about your own personal story, which, you know, I hate that he's going through that, but in the context of Tyra and Top Model and the doc, I feel like he could have given more about that than he actually did, because it's accountability for him too. You know, he was saying in that he just showed up to do the teachers and all that. Nah, boo, you were shady and reading and talk about them girls too, because that meme about homegirl walking up like she looked like she on crack pops up on my timeline every other day. And how do you know if that's not bothering that girl all the years? What's her name? Zia Mara from season 2 with the eyes.
Said he looked like she on crack. That one.
Yeah, I see that GIF or meme on my timeline daily.
Yeah, that one's still around. For sure, dude. Okay, so and then again, like she did the same thing with Mr. J, right? Like with the stroke and everything that he had. So it's just like, or Miss J, not Mr. J. That's J Man.
I know what you mean.
Mr. J. And even Nigel, who seems pretty much kind of on the outskirts of all of this a little bit in his own right, seemed to have just been ghosted. Like she hadn't talked to any of them really.
Well, he said in a recent interview, Nigel, that he and Tyra have had exchanges over the years, you know, talked if they were in town or whatever. Nothing, you know, like, I don't know if they ever linked up, but they have still communicated and spoke to each other. But it just goes to show you, like, I mean, how were y'all friends, or were y'all just show friends? Did the business get in between y'all? Did other people get in between y'all? And I think it's gonna take Tyra having like one of them old school Oprah, Barbara Walters interviews to really to RIP baby to Babs, but to really crack that armor, because she has an armor that's not, I'm trying to see how to put this. She has an armor up that's not one that you fear, but it's like kind of a shut down business armor. Like, this is what I'm presenting. This is what you're getting. And it's going to take her opening up and really just talking about it, because I'm sure she has probably some hurt and things going on too, but we don't know.
Well, she needs to communicate that to her friends, because apparently they don't even know either. So that's where I'm confused as to why. Like, y'all need to get to talking to each other. Y'all had a whole documentary talking about asking us for advice, or seemingly to see what to do. Maybe you should talk with your homie that you knew since you were 16 years old, who taught you how to walk, who had a stroke. Maybe you should ask him first before you come on a fucking documentary like this. Looking like a lady from Get Out.
Not Get Out. Ting, ting, ting. If they really wanted it to be a real celebration of Top Model, if they really wanted that doc to be truly impactful, those three should have gotten together before anything was filmed and at least had a conversation. Whether it was good, bad, or indifferent, they should have at least spoken to each other. Because I think I think more than anything, people want to see all four of them together or all three of them together. Will that ever happen? I don't know. It may be too much bad blood, but it would have been more impactful had it been more of less about the show, but about what happened to the girls, what happened with them, and how do you fix it? How do you make it right? How do you move on? Not just a whole expose and then that's it. Because in a couple of weeks we're gonna be talking about something else, and it's not gonna really mean nothing. You know, that's how I feel about it, though.
Yeah. So hold on one second. No, I agree with you. I'm just like, that's why I'm really interested to see this interview that they got. This new one that's gonna come, like the one with Lisa, and I think Takara gonna be on it, and like the or Jasmine, you said. I'm interested to see that one because that's gonna be a whole different perspective. Because there are a lot of models that ain't really fucking with it. But when it comes to the judges, yes, like you said, they were complicit, and they seem to have their own issues within themselves. So I'm like, wouldn't you at least work that shit out before you did a whole ass documentary so that you could all be in the same room?
Right.
And talk about it. Why was I thought it was so weird that Tyra was off into a whole nother room, like maybe potentially not even there on the same day as the other three judges who actually did look like that they were there at the same time. Well, they proved
they showed them all together.
Yeah.
All three together.
Taking selfies together and shit. Like,
but also too, you gotta remember Jay did a whole book that was kind of shade to Tyra. I think it was,
I haven't read it, so I don't know.
Yeah, it was supposed to. I think it was like maybe kind of based off the show. I think it was maybe fictional. It was supposed to be not real, but the context of it is kind of shade over that way.
Okay, so I'm all down for a fiction novel, and I'm down to read it. Where it at?
Don't quote me. I think it's called the model, the meltdown, the something, and it's like, and I think it's like on the cover is Jay, and then it's like a model. They don't have a face, but they got on a red wig, and we know Tyra had that red hair for a long time. So that's your automatic thought that it's kind of a nod or a little shade to her. So I'm sure that's a factor too. Like, nigga, you up here talking shit about me on the cool. I'm sure that's all a part of it too.
I don't know. I didn't see it, but I'm willing to look.
Google it. Katie, where you at, boo? Can you pull it up for us?
I don't know. But yes. So we have our other judges that weren't in this one. Maybe we'll see them in a different one. What is it called? What is it called?
It's Jay Manual, boo.
Jay Manual.
The model, the meltdown, or something like that.
Yeah, okay, we'll see. But what do you also think about the other judges that weren't mentioned, like Janice Dickinson's bitch ass? I hate her. She was so mean and rude, and I always thought that she looked like Caitlyn Jenner. That's what I think she looked like. But
I mean, probably of the judges, obviously, Janice. Yeah, that's it. Now,
let me see what is it called. Amazing.
Now, when you see that, first thing you think that's Tyra.
Yeah, it has to be, right?
Yeah, the wig, the bitch, and the meltdown. That's the name of the book. So
the devil also wear cheap shoes. Oh,
so it might not all be about her, but it's definitely probably some references. Some small shade, I'm
learning something on my own show, girl. Okay, so first of all, I will be getting that somewhere from the library or somewhere. I'm gonna illegally download that shit. I ain't buying it.
Not illegally.
Allegedly.
Janice, speaking from this lens of being grown, was speaking from a place of trauma and a mean girl, because she got her own substance abuse issues, I'm sure she probably had. I don't want to. I'm not 100% sure, but I think she spoke about being assaulted in her life, sexually assaulted in her life. So I'm pretty sure, and I ain't making excuses for that hoe, but
She probably was on the Epstein plane.
that's where her mean girl and stuff came from, and I'm pretty sure it was some shit that she was probably told her damn self in the modeling industry.
Exactly.
Like, it got, but I think because she was only on there 4 seasons, and then she would pop in here and there, but it got to a point too where I think she was putting on for the cameras too, trying to make a moment.
Yeah, of course, because she was like, I'm the world's first
Right.
supermodel. Girl, nobody knew that. I never heard of you before. I heard of Tyra Banks. You know. So
We didn't know you before the show, boo.
No, we did not. I actually knew Twiggy. I really like Twiggy as a judge.
Twiglets.
Yes, I liked her.
I like Twiggy.
Yeah, I did too.
Twiggy was she was so nice. She hated to be mean, but that's how you know she was being honest. It's a difference between being mean and shady and just being honest. Like, girl, this ain't it. Like, I hate to tell you, and that's how you tell she was being authentically her. And I appreciated that. She was like the anti-Janice.
Yeah, she was cool. Were Twiggy and Janice on at the same time at any moment, or did they come out?
So Janice after cycle 4, Janice was out. Twiggy came season 5, and I think Twiggy was there by cycle 5 through 9. Because
I think she was there like four seasons maybe.
Because that Paulina Porskova lady came, I think, cycle.
When did Kelly Coltrane or whatever her name was?
That was way like when they did that social media season when Andre Leon Talley and Kim.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah,
that was weird.
Awful. We don't want to hear from the fans.
Yeah.
No, we don't want to hear from y'all. We damn sure don't want to hear from
That's when Tyra started getting kind of weird. She had the short haircut, right?
Yeah.
And she was she was doing too much. It was very hard to watch.
Oh, I think at that point it was just about keeping the lights on because the ratings weren't. They were.
Yeah, especially when you're doing weird stuff like that.
Yeah, they definitely lost the plot. I think initially it started out with pure good intentions, and then the money and the companies and executives and advertisement and the audience too. So the beast is there, but the beast has to be fed, and we feed the beast. So it's accountability all around because we all kept watching, and they want to keep feeding. They're feeding us, and we're feeding them.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
people were enjoying it. And when do you remember when Jay, Nigel, and did they mention when they finally had their last season? Was it the All-Star or was it after?
I believe it was season 18. If 18 is All-Stars, then yeah, that's about right.
Well, 17 is All-Stars, so 18.
So it had to have been 17 then.
Okay, so they weren't in the All-Star one.
No. I remember Mr. J was in All-Star, so I think after 17, that was it for them.
Okay,
I think
they was all sayonara after that. Do you remember what happened in that All-Star season?
So I remember it was like a big controversy, and it resurfaced again. I forgot the girl's name, but
Angelique.
Yeah, we all thought Angelique was gonna win. I wanted Angelique.
He did win. I think she did.
Well, it was something that came out about her. Or I forgot exactly what. And so Lisa by default. But recently they were kind of, I guess, tweeting back and forth, and it kind of alluded to like Lisa had some kind of involvement to how she got outed for whatever happened, and Lisa ended up winning. I could be wrong.
But I remember being so confused.
Right.
Like, so confused as to where Angelique went, because the last thing I had remember was her like damn near getting ready to win a competition or something.
Because
And then she just
reshoot.
disappeared. They
went in and did like a whole reshoot situation.
Right. They did a whole, I was so confused. And they didn't say anything to the audience. I remember being like, I'm pretty sure I just watched the whole show with her in it and like she was about to win.
They slightly addressed it, but not really. Like,
right.
Excuse me. They said something about it, but of course we didn't get no details or anything about it. And then they just went forward with
Yeah, and then Lisa won. And then who was it? Was it Allison, the girl with the big eyes that like was a runner-up or something?
I believe so. Yeah, because I remember she was there. I know Bree was there. I think some of the other girls I remember was there too. But yeah, Allison was the runner-up that season.
Yeah, that was so weird. I would at least like that. Yeah. And then apparently it was about some like escort that but they knew that she had been that, and she had already kind of tried to sue them for, I think, for not paying them or like
a big thing,
overworking them. And so for some reason they just like ixnayed her and did not explain it to us either.
Notice they didn't say shit about that in the doc. That's what we really want to know about.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be in the other one though.
I hope so.
Me too. I don't want to see another like promotion for season 25, like talking about Cycle 25 coming out. Girl, do you read the room? Do you know what this documentary is gonna come out to look like after?
I mean, people still gonna watch that shit.
I'm gonna try my fucking hardest not to. I'm gonna try all my damnedest.
It would just depend. It would just depend. Like whatever teaser or trailer they drop has to be extraordinary for me to be like, I'll give it an episode or two Netflix.
I ain't gonna hold you. It's gonna take all of my fucking strength not to watch that shit because like I'm so curious as to what that means to even reboot this show after you just released this documentary where you pretty much like made yourself look terrible. Like,
but people are assuming she's talking about top model. Tara crazy. She might be talking about Cycle 25 or her ice cream or something.
Maybe she did seem a little unhinged.
People just assuming, but she's alluding to something. But she might be talking about her next Cycle 25 of her life.
She might have just had a flashback and went back into the day. You never will know what will happen in Cycle 25. Like, bitch, you ain't even starting that. She probably just went back into the ethers. You never know with her. I don't know.
Because if they ever did bring that show back, it would have to be on a platform like Netflix where it can't be censored. It got to be uncensored.
Yeah, and it has to be like, because Netflix actually does run some pretty good reality shows. Have you ever seen The Circle?
The last reality show I watched was Love Is Blind, and I the first few seasons of that was good, and then it just became the same thing over and over. The last two seasons was dry. I didn't even finish them.
Yeah, have you ever seen The Circle? That one's one. That's a Netflix one. It's like it's like a social media kind of catfish game where they're all isolated in one like room. And for like the entire time, and they have to kind of like catfish each other, or you can sign up as a catfish or as yourself, and you just have to like make friends, and your friends will vote you off, and you have to
kind of like traders
a little bit.
So I've heard of it. I think I saw like their preview for it, but I haven't watched it yet.
It's like a social experiment. It's pretty interesting. And then a lot of the people end up like making really good friends, even though like they like play through the game and stuff. It's one of the more like it feels safer. You know what I mean?
If I did a reality show, I'm going on Traders or The Amazing Race. I would do
okay. Do you remember The Amazing Race? Not The Great Race. The Amazing Race.
The Amazing Race. I love Amazing Race.
Oh, me too. Me and my grandma used to watch that one. That's the one where you traveled like all over the world and you had to like find clues and you had like a team. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that. My grandma loved that one. so
We
much.
still watch it. We still watch it. I think they on like season 35 or 36 or something like that.
Dang, where is that one at? On Channel 7 still?
Well, if Channel 7 is CBS for you, then yes.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, because Survivor is going into its 50th season.
Damn. I didn't even realize that. I dropped off of all of that. Man, they still going. I've been watching Mr. Beast. There's Mr. Beast's game. The Beast game's out right now. Those are pretty interesting too. I think the last episode is this week. That one is full of drama. Let's get Kimura going. Her little snippet in here. She was also, I think she was only in the first season, right?
Yeah, she was. If not, maybe she made. I think she made like a cameo or something like that here and there. But
yeah, because like
she wasn't like a main.
That baby fat and shit was like big.
Yeah, especially at that time.
Yeah. Go ahead and play her. I'll be right back.
Far exceeds America's Next Top Model, right? It goes into every agency, every young girl, which is why I maybe don't want my kids to model.
You think we still have a ways to go?
Oh, 1,000%.
What do you want to see change?
It's a very harsh business. It's very harsh. No one really says the reality. Put it this way. Anything likely, 9 times out of 10, that you see or hear of someone that they said something happened to them modeling on set, at a shoot, at these weird locations, showing up at all these places for a casting or a go-see, not knowing the address, not knowing the people, not knowing anything. Even things that have happened to my own kids, going to places in upstate New York, and then the gig was canceled because of like a storm, and then no one looked out for these girls. That's more of an agent thing, but no one looked out for these 30 girls, young girls, away from home, upstate New York, no food, no money, no place to stay. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. I've lived it myself when I was younger. Most of the things you hear are probably true in some shape, form, or fashion. They are not fantastical things. These young people are not lying. Those things are mostly true. And again, I didn't hear them all, but every time I hear something, it's true. That's the business.
And how do you think you made it here today, standing so proudly?
By the grace of God. How did I make it here today? I had a level head on my shoulder. I was always very mature beyond my years.
Why is that the excuse? That's the business.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all they kept saying. That's all they kept saying. And so like that's why we're in danger of, I think that's why we're dealing with this whole Epstein shit. That was the business. That's how they would, because it was. There was. Elite model management was all up in that shit. Okay. And so like, and the modeling industry was all up in that shit. And so in a lot of ways, they're not wrong, but it doesn't make it okay. And they're still trying to make excuses for this shit.
But that's the thing. What are you going to do to change it? Like, if you know all these things are happening, it can't just be, that was the time. That's the business. Because sex trafficking is $1 billion business.
Right. It's Victoria's Secret.
So what you going to do about it?
Like, it's come on now.
It's a lot of moving parts. It's
like, okay, so you're so like, oh, well, yeah, this is so horrible, but you still are letting it happen. You're still complicit. You're still just like a nothing burger. Like the fact that all these people got here on this fucking documentary and with the girls, like, why didn't they have them sit in the same room with the girls?
Right. I'm telling you, it would have been a more healing situation.
Yeah.
If they were all together at some point instead of like isolating them. I'm telling you, the end of that doc should have been all these girls kind of coming together.
Right. Or at least, or being like to be continued where they do that or something. Yeah. It just felt incomplete. Like it felt like if they were trying to make us feel like that was the healing and ending all of this and we can move on, then they completely failed in their mission. or unless
Completely.
they are like holding us on some cliffhanger where they're gonna have something else where that continues, and then they finally do that. But they didn't allude to that.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. I really don't understand what this documentary was really trying to prove, besides exposing some things, but then also like trying to like save ass for the people responsible. Like Ken Mock just sat there and just like me.
Well, it's just business for him. Like he's a reality show, so it's just
He don't care.
I'm sure he has some regrets, but for him, it's on to the next.
Didn't he do Making the Band?
He did Making the Band. He did Real World. He's done a lot of different reality shows.
Yeah. He was like the reality show dude at that time.
Yeah.
I heard some shit about Making the Band and too.
Yeah. My camera looks awful. I don't know what's happening.
It's just the light moving around. You look great. Don't worry about it, boo. Okay. What's next? Hold on. Let me see. We had Kimura. Okay. So we okay, I'm not sure about this Miss Mojo. Katie, let me know immediately if it like shuts off, if it does. Or you could just put blockers up for the Miss Mojo stuff, so that, or like a splash on top of it so that we don't see it all. So we don't get dinged. But we have our last we didn't show our Tyra meltdown. Did you see that?
Child, listen, Tyra, baby, are you in crisis? What's happening?
Yeah. This is what's going on. We only have to play like 5 to 10 seconds of this.
I saw this shit.
Yeah, but let's show her.
Let me tell you what he did. We're about to get to the end of this. You know when Santa Claus tells you that he gonna come down your chimney and he wants you to leave some cookies and cream on that thing for him to eat. Do you know what he's doing? Child, he ain't biting that cookie. He ain't sipping that cream. He taking a bowl from your cabinet, from your joinery, y'all call it, and he putting it on the thing. He putting a little bit of cookie. He putting a little bit of that milk. He mixing it up, and he put it in your freezer. And he trying to make it taste like Santa's smiles, and it tastes like Santa's shit. I had magic, and I started saying, "Woo, they flying, make it rain there, make it rain there." And he said, "Now she got magic with the deals." I'm not gonna answer.
Honestly, listen. She used to be like that on the show sometimes.
She did.
I just think that's her. She a little wacky.
Lord have mercy, girl. I don't know. That was like on the extra unhinged.
She might have been a little lit. She was probably lit. She was probably lit as fuck.
Yeah.
She was probably full. She was
okay.
Full that night.
We not gonna really fuck with Miss Mojo like that, but there is that one. Oh, let's play Katie, if you could play the Takara Jones one, that we should be safe with that.
I love Takara.
Me too. I do too.
No shade. All the black girls still look good.
It said 50 and
was a big fan favorite for many, including myself. This is someone with a vibrant personality and a show of confidence as a plus-size model. She wasn't in this docuseries, but her story was, of course, a memorable one. And Takara Jones joins us now this morning from Atlanta. This, by the way, is Takara's first interview since the documentary was released. Takara, good morning. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Welcome, Takara.
Oh, yes. Good day, everybody.
Listen, I've been a fan of yours for so long. I just wonder, you know, when you watch this docuseries, did you feel like it was a fair portrayal of the show? How did it line up with your own experience on the show? I mean, did this in any way surprise you?
You know what? I was totally surprised. Oh, wow. It was tough. It was tough because it did not line up with my experience. And I think that is one of the reasons why I wasn't on the documentary, because I don't have anything bad to say about Tyra. So I think that's why I'm not in the documentary. And then when I seen that even Yaya wasn't in the documentary, I was like, hey, I'm in good company.
Yeah, because as you know, Takara, there was a lot of criticism after the documentary.
Press pause there, and then you can go to the next timestamp. So yes, so Takara, for our audience, if y'all didn't know her, I forget what cycle she was in. Maybe they have it.
She was in cycle 3. Her,
yeah,
Eva, yeah, same cycle.
Okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And she'll explain this later in the next clip, but like she was the first like plus size model on there, and she'll tell the story herself, but they were terrible to her, Whitney, and the other plus size models. They wouldn't even attempt to get them no clothes and things like that, and she ended up getting eliminated pretty much for not being able to fit anything, and then ended up kind of low-key being one of the most successful ones out of all of them, even though she didn't win the show.
She was in Vogue.
Yeah, she was still hella around. Her, Yaya, Eva, I mean, I guess that cycle did good with that. And then of course, like the later cycles, like India Gantz is one of the people that isn't on as a winner, which is weird in that like list. But like the girl with the hair, I see her a lot. Winnie Harlow.
I think that cycle, season 3, was probably the last, I guess you can say, genuine cycle. Like it wasn't about TV. It was about, actually trying to get the girls on and actually show how it is in the industry. And I think
they weren't quite lowering them into graves and doing like suicide, bulimic photo shoots.
Yeah, I think it got into the storytelling and TV up around 4 with Kenya and Tiffany and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. There definitely was a shift. Sorry, I'm just closing the door.
Oh, y'all say hey to Archie. Come on, fresh cut.
Talking to my cat. She keep moving in and out, and I can't do it.
You see this one over here photobombing.
Yeah. Oh my God, what a cutie.
Sit down.
But yeah, let's check out this next clip from Takara, because this explains like her experience with just even trying to get clothes and stuff.
Plus size girls to ever be on America's Next Top Model. And when I came in, the styling was terrible. They wouldn't have my size. They would pull out my clothes last. I wouldn't even have a rack. All the girls would have racks of clothes. They would have options. And it was like, here, this is what you're going to wear. I remember even when we did a shoot for La Perla, we had to do the lingerie. There was nothing in my size. I can't fit their bras, their underwears. I had to wear a robe. And I don't even know if the robe was the correct size, right? I think I was busting out of the robe. And then it was that time where the stylist pinched my back. I wanted to smack that. Fill in the blank, however way.
What do you mean? What do you say he pinched you? You mean he pinched your?
No, she pinched me. She pinched me on my back, and then we got into it because she wants to tell me, do she think she can find a rack of clothes in my size? And I'm like, how? Why are you? I wear clothes every single day. I get dressed every day, honey. I'm fabulous every single day. How could you not find clothes in my size? What is going on, darling?
I just wonder if some of those moments were painful because, I think that you have defended Tyra in the past.
You and your Bob over here.
First off, she looks absolutely amazing. She looks gorgeous. Yeah. I'm the same.
Don't she look better? Like
I know, just completely. I mean, this era of style has really fits her. Yeah, fits her well. But yeah, that's the same thing. And I mean, I'm stunned that Whitney was even able to win because they did the same thing to her. They would always have some old weird outfit, like one little thing that she could fit into, even though like there's plenty of clothes down the street right next door that she could have gotten for her.
But look how long it took for that. That was what was that? Cycle
10? Yes.
It took 10 years to get a plus size winner. And I think she's the only one.
The only one. And then that's when they started doing like adding the males and the British and they added everybody but a plus size for hella long, and then they started adding everybody, like dudes with weave beards and stuff. Like,
yeah, and niggas actually do that. I mean, that's a real thing. They got
I didn't
wigs.
know that.
It wasn't just on top model. That is an actual real thing. Nothing is real no more. Okay, they got lace front beards. They got lace fronts for dudes. Like,
how does that work? Do you glue it?
Yeah. Look it up. I'm telling you, it's an Instagram or YouTube video, and it shows you how they put them on. And to look at them, you would never know.
Okay. Well, hey, it seemed itchy, but
I ain't doing all that. This hat is hot.
Oh my God. But that was like the first weave beard that I had ever seen. And that thing would be hanging off. And they like kind of made him wear it. Like, I want to hear his story. But was he in the same one? No, I think he was. Weave beard was in the one where Jordan, the girl one, the white girl one, Jordan.
That was the first co-ed. He was in the first co-ed season.
Yeah. Was Tyra in that one, or was that still Rita?
Tyra was only not in one season. That first season on VH1 was Rita Ora, but even Tyra, she made an appearance because she introduced Rita. And then I guess that wasn't working out. So that next season on VH1, Tyra was back.
Tyra was back. Okay. Yeah. And then that's when Jordan won. And then the next one, Keith won, the black dude. It was the top 3 finalists of that one were all men, actually. It was Adam and the like short kind of frat boy dude that kept getting drunk on the damn show. And then there was that gay dude, William. I think his name was Will. I really liked him. Yeah, white dude. He was the runner up, and then Keith won. And I actually liked both of them. I was totally okay with either of them winning. I liked both of them. And then and Keith was a former football player, wasn't he? And then the next one was both boys and girls again, and Niall ended up winning. The deaf dude. He fine. Oh my God.
He's a beautiful man.
Yes, indeed. You don't need to say nothing but boo. Not at all.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, he was very attractive man. And so I really actually enjoyed that season just because of that dynamic, and the person that won I actually really liked. You know what I mean? Like, he just seemed like a cool dude. And I still follow him on Instagram. He's still doing modeling and good work, and I'm advocating for, the deaf community, and he's doing good work. So, and then India won the year after that, the girl with the purple hair, right?
Yeah, I was that so. I believe so. Like I said, the last leg is like kind of shaky for me. Like, I low key kind of I did enjoy those because it started getting good again.
It did. It started to feel like they were actually treating people.
It was properly. Grounded. It was grounded. I think that was missing. Like, it wasn't grounded anymore. It was just outlandish thing after outlandish thing, and that's.
Yeah, it got a little unhinged there towards like in that those middle spots.
It jumped the shore big time. Big time.
Yes, of course. Okay, so I think we only got our last one here with Tiffany, Miss Tiffany. Oh
Lord, she fighting with Funky Dineva online. I don't know if you've seen it. Funky wore her out though. Apparently
Okay.
Yeah. Tiffany gives me lost soul energy.
I spoke to Naima, and Naima said from her perspective, she felt like Tyra was just being a mother chastising her child. That's how she saw it. Y'all, and go watch the live. Did you feel maternal energy from Tyra, or was it a different from you? Like, did you feel like she was coming from a place of caring about you? Like, oh my God, Tiffany, like, why aren't you taking this serious? Why aren't you, like, I really wanted this for you?
Well, like I said, Naima's a fake deep type of girl. That's her energy. She's like fake deep. She's like always going to say what she thinks she's supposed to say. And that's her opinion. That's cute. But if you really cared about me, like, cause like I'm a mom, and if I yell, I tell my kids what it is, I give it to them. You know what I'm saying? I whoop, whoop, whoop. But first of all, I'm not gonna humiliate you. Like, I'm gonna cuss you out, but I'm gonna help you fix that. Tyra was never really there. So if me and you wasn't really like that, then don't come at me like that. Like if you were there along the way and you were helping me and you're like, Tiffany, I've just been giving you so much game and I've been giving you so much knowledge to handle yourself and I've been giving you this and showing you the way, then, you know, yell at me. I'm gonna stand up there and I'm gonna take, because I'm gonna feel like, damn, you done did so much to me and I should have learned from it. But you ain't never taught me shit. And then you think I'm gonna sit up here and you yelling at me like this, thinking that you're being a mother. How, sis? You're not being a mother to me. You got your little moment. You got your little ratings up. She didn't come in. Like I said, the next time I spoke to her was when she came to the hotel with her mom, and that was just like damage control. Because like I said, when I left out, it was fuck top model, fuck everybody on it, and it was. But your actions show that. If it was no love, if you saying it's coming from a maternal instinct or whatever the hell she said, then you would feel some type of love. She didn't even get that. So Naima's just being Naima.
That is a sickening picture.
What do you remember the reaction from the judges? If you
okay, you can
thought
pause it there, Katie. Thank you.
Like, huh? Like,
what'd you say about the picture?
No, I was saying that picture was sickening. They were like snatched in that picture.
Oh, I know, just gorgeous.
So pretty.
I loved the end of the year photos. Oh my god, or the end of the season photos. Those are so. I mean, one thing about Tyra, she knows she is absolutely stunning. I mean, I will stop and look anytime I see her. I don't care how crazy she look. Like, I'm like, oh my God,
right or wrong, the bitch is a supermodel.
Yes, I mean, I'm looking. I can't even help. I didn't even know. I just felt the pull, and I was like, oh my God, stop.
For real, shit.
But yes,
big forehead now.
Yeah. Like Rihanna for me, I'm just like, huh?
Right.
Oh my God.
You Rihanna,
huh? Good. All the time, the eyes. I don't know what it is. But no, like that whole thing with Tiffany, I remember that episode and being like, what is happening? And being completely just like, oh geez, like this is crazy.
I was like, I didn't know if it was real or not. I was like, what's happening? Because like sometimes, and I still do this to this day, when somebody's talking, I'll look behind them and look at and I was looking at the judges, and when I saw them, I was just like, oh no, this shit is really happening for real.
Yeah, they
weren't expecting it. And
I was rooting for
you. And to be fair, I feel like she was, but that was the wrong way to do it. I feel like she low-key snapped.
Yeah.
You know, I think because Tiffany was all nonchalant about it, it pissed her off. And she went in on her. You know, right thing, wrong thing done for the right reasons is still the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some of what Tiffany was saying in the video, it was valid. I understood what she was saying, but I do think it came from a somewhat positive place. I don't think she was trying to quote unquote embarrass her. I just think she did the wrong damn thing. I just think she pissed off.
Yeah. If you go into that interview more, there are a lot of things that, again, what Tyra seems to have an issue with, even if her intentions were good or something, she has an issue with confronting people.
Yeah.
Like,
conflict.
Yeah. Like, it's like she will just kind of skirt you instead of having that conversation, because there are a lot of, like, how are you going to hit up Danielle 15 years later talking about, oh, I should have said something 15 years earlier. Or how you going to do that to, or Shandy? Oh, well, I don't remember. Bitch, you remember. It was on film. We seen it. We just seen it right now. Like, they didn't show it to you right now. You showed Shandy when Shandy told you not to show that shit on your
on her talk show.
show.
Nah, that was some bullshit. That was messed up. But Shandy said she told her she didn't see it, she didn't want to see it, and they still played the damn
He
clip.
still did it. So don't act like you don't remember no fucking Shandy. Okay. Like she was over here looking over here, like seeing if Shandy was gonna pop out the sky to see if she could remind her who she was. Girl.
But you know what? A person that is not good at conflict resolution or doesn't like conflict, they have no medium. They either real extreme or they shut down. And I think that's Tyra. In Tiffany's case, because she was pissed, she went the extreme route.
Right.
In Jay's case, because that was personal and they had an actual relationship, she shut down. She has no medium because she has no conflict resolution skills is what I see. Not excusing what she did, but them just the facts. You know what I'm saying? That at least that's how I see it.
No, I agree with you. So there were a few things that we were supposed to show, but Miss Mojo, of course, probably won't fuck with it. So I don't want to fuck with it. And so that was our last one. So instead of doing that, I want to ask you one more question. So after watching that doc, knowing that there might be a Cycle 25, knowing that there's another documentary coming out, and in just your whole kind of experience, and there's so many people involved, and please do not forget, dear audience, that like now we're starting to get tied into this modeling industry and these Epstein people. And so that's something I want to keep an eye on as well. So with all of that, and when it comes to the judges, when it comes to the contestants, when it comes to Tyra, like what did you really kind of pull together at the end of that? And what are you hoping to maybe see? Or are there unleft questions or answers to your questions? Or like just give me the whole final.
I mean, in terms of the doc, it didn't really move me, and I'll tell you why. Certain parts moved me, like Shandy's situation moved me. You know, like Miss J's situation. You know, that moved me. Those things are impactful, and you know that's staying with you no matter what. Certain things I had previously heard before over the years, because like I said, it's not the first doc situation they've had. E did one years ago with some of the girls, and we heard similar stories. But I think overall, like I was saying earlier, it could have been so much more and could have been so much more impactful if the focus of it was on the healing. If they actually brought these girls together, if they actually brought the judges together and had a real dialogue, a real conversation. And like we were talking about earlier, I hate the editing of it. The editing of it for me kind of discredits parts of the doc, because I'm like, okay, is this really how you answered that question, or is this how they placed it? That really kind of you know,
it takes you out of it too. And since they're so much so about like storytelling, and they're these storytellers, then if I were them, if they really wanted to make that as impactful as they thought that they were going to make it, then surprise them. If you be like, hey, you know what? Well, this is what you said. Well, now you have the opportunity to talk to this person face to face, like they would do in any other reality TV show. So like, I just am like, they could have done so much more. I think that the Netflix thing was lackluster. I agree with you in a lot of ways. It could have been handled a lot better, and that's what had me confused a little bit about, like, are they planning on doing another 3 episodes, or or is it something they're trying to get out of that? Because it didn't translate the way that they wanted it to, I don't think.
Because at the very least, Nigel and the Jays could have met with a couple of the girls. We saw Jay Manuel with Eva recently because she came to his book signing. You know,
right?
So if you could do that, you know, you can reach out to some of these girls. I know I think it was a girl from Cycle 8. She was a black girl. I think her name was Umbrielle or something like that. She might have been Cycle 9. She had the short hair.
I remember the name.
She said in an interview, maybe this is a few years ago, like she had saw Jay at an event and he didn't even really want to talk to her. He was rude, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It wasn't a positive experience for her. So it just calls into question, like, what was the real purpose of this if y'all weren't going to take it all the way?
Exactly.
And to answer your question about the Cycle 25, allegedly, I question, I mean, it's reality TV. You always gonna get people that want to sign up and be on the show, period. But how is it gonna be different? How is it gonna be better? Like, are people even really still into it like that? Because we're living in a world of Instagram models, social media models. You don't have to have talent to be famous no more.
Not at all.
I don't even know if it'll really work.
Like, how is that working? How are you gonna put that together? Are you trying to bring back that shit, or like what is it? What is it even about? If there were to be an alleged Cycle 25, especially after, like, did you know that they were gonna present you in this light in this documentary, thinking that you was gonna get there and just plug Cycle 25 and Miss J coming back and Mr. J coming back? Like, what? It just seemed like all over the place.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because my understanding,
I don't understand the goal of what they were trying to accomplish with it.
Yeah, my understanding is, like, Tyra, none of the Jays or whatever, they had no, executive anything or creative control. They just came to be interviewed, and we see how they chopped it up.
Right, but we didn't. So now they want to do this again. Well, bitch, from the last I just heard 20 seconds ago, y'all hadn't even talked to each other in 20 years. So how the fuck you gonna rerun this shit?
It wouldn't be them. It would be
who's it gonna be? Because we just had this whole documentary come out that you sat in here. I'm so confused about how they're gonna sell this.
It is, I don't know, because, like, take Project Runway, for example. They're in, like, their 24th season. This last season was everything. I love Laura Road. She reads the girls. But Heidi came back. She had left. She was gone for years, and she came back to the show, and it just, like, re-energized the show.
Right.
It works in that context, but you want to completely bring back a show that hasn't been on for how many years, which we see it all the time, but do people really want it? And what are you going to give us? Like, are you going to give us the original vision?
Because or are you going to give us more Instagram models? We could already do that shit ourselves, like right now.
Yeah. Like we were saying earlier, it would have to be extraordinary.
Yeah, you must have some modeling industry information that we don't have to be able to pull off another thing of that. And who are the judges? Because I don't know who are we thinking about that would be even someone that we would trust or care about to even watch. Or I just don't see how that's going to work at all.
It's hard to keep a show like that going, because you look at RuPaul's Drag Race is going into this 18th season, and they have that show in other countries with other hosts, but obviously the one in America is the biggest one because RuPaul is the draw. That's it's her show. So without Tyra, will people want to still see Tyra? Because people,
but it worked with Rita Ora. It did work with Rita Ora. It really did.
Yeah,
I thought it worked. I liked it. It was totally fine for me. I didn't have any problem with it. It was different, but the thing with the Rita Ora kind of like 1 season or 2, I don't know how many she had, but
it was 1.
Yeah, but one thing that it worked for the time, right? And so like they were all up on social media. They were, they were in like dealing with the influencers of the time on the internet. They were teaching them how to use the internet.
And they had judges that were current. There was Ashley Graham. It was La Roche. It was, I forgot the dude. I think he was with like Paper Magazine, which at that time they were like
that guy, the kind of fantastical kind of looking dude. But it seemed to kind of work. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh my God, this is Tyra Banks. I had no idea who Rita Ora was, but I thought she was cool enough to go ahead and run the show if Tyra was going to come back. And then I thought it was weird that she was only there from 1 season. And then they brought Tyra back, and which was fine, but why didn't they bring Rita back as a judge?
Yeah.
Right? There's just a lot of squirrely shit that happened in that. And so I'm just curious as to what's even the point of doing all this to even come back for a cycle 25 after you just kind of sullied your reputation and confused everybody about what your intentions are in this documentary. And there's another one coming out trying to expose you on more shit. So are you
like it would have to be also a situation too where whether it's Tyra or someone else, they would have to have sole control, sole ownership. Like if some shit ain't right, they can say, hey, nah boo,
right,
cut the camera, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
or leave it in the grave, just leave it alone, or actually transform it into something that people feel comfortable watching. First of all, since y'all been on some old bullshittery, like if you're gonna really bring it back the right way, and people will be down for it, or just leave it where it's at. And we wasn't even really thinking about y'all like that until you came up with this documentary.
But because low key, like no other modeling show has worked. Like I remember Naomi Campbell had one on I think it was on like Oxygen for a few seasons, and that fizzled out. So Tyra, other than Project Runway, a show about fashion in this lane, Top Model is the only one that sustained and went for as long as it did, other than Project Runway, which is still on. So it's dicey. I don't know what they're gonna do. It's gonna be like, oh girl.
And then we have like so do you remember, and this is like our last thing, because we may have 2 hours, but I do want to tap in with our audience a little bit before we jump off, but
because Miss Marley been reading me all 2 hours. I'm playing, girl.
Yeah. Miss Marley been here, but we love talking about art. I love this show, and I want to talk about it with people that also loved it the same way I did. And because I wanted to be on top. Was that your cat? Damn.
Yeah, that's his ass. He's literally laying right next to my laptop, Charles. That's why you can hear him.
Okay, yeah, mine's slumped. I gotta check and see if her pulse still going. No, she's breathing. She's just a big old lump of Lord sleep. But like the impact that this made on our like people growing up, and you know what I mean, it
mattered.
Yes, it did. And I cared about those girls, you know what I mean? And to hear some of those stories And to hear that Tyra didn't call her and say, hey, like, oh, I knew that you, that's fucked up. And something about her and her little weird smiles and just her demeanor during this whole thing creeped me the fuck out, if I have to be real.
That's that wall.
Yeah, it was unnerving, to say the very lightest. And I've always been a rooter for Tyra, but when a whole slew of people come out and talk about you in that way, and even if, you know, what I will say is that, and this is just me being a Libra, so maybe, the devil's advocate thing, but I will really say this. The fact that she seems to have an inability to confront people and talk to them directly about literally anything, and it seems like it's a track record with her to not be able, like, she might not even be mad. If I was gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, that's not what I'm saying, but if I'm hypothetical situation, she did this to multiple people and just ghosted them and ran away from confronting them in the situation, when potentially it could have been handled a lot easier if she would have just talked to them. You know what I mean? And that's what weirded me the fuck out. And then in the way that she just seemed to not really even want to apologize or hold any accountability. It just was like, okay, well, shit, I haven't watched this show in a long time. The last impression I had of Tyra was pretty good, because I think the last season I watched was with her and Niall, and I really liked Niall. And that was a good season. Like, people were treated all right as far as I'm concerned. And so I was a little taken aback by just the way that she was acting, and then the way that her and Jay Manuel have their relationship now, and then how she didn't come and say anything to Mr. J or Miss J after they had the stroke, and I'm just confused about that.
It's hard when it's people that, even though you don't know them, when you grow up watching these people, you get attached to them. You know, they're in your living every single day, and you want to have that. You have that image in your mind, like, oh, they the best of friends, and when you find out that's not true, that hurts. Like you know, one of my favorite shows is Charmed. Like, it makes me feel a way knowing that them hoes wasn't getting along. Like, I hate that we know that, because like, I watch the show, it's like, oh Lord, that's all I can think about. You just kind of side eye, them hoes ain't really like each other. So I understand exactly what you're saying, and I think the only way Tyra has to have some humanity. She has to show her humanity. No lights, no cameras. Make it right with some of these girls, especially the ones that were hurt the most. That's the only way that anything can happen going forward.
And especially Shandy. Like, come on now, dog.
Oh yeah.
Come on now, dog. The way that she ended up talking more about Tiffany and Kenya and all these other people, and completely slated Shandy off like that didn't happen. He didn't say a fuck. There was nothing in that documentary with Tyra responding to that, and that's what I'm saying. She keeps skirting people off because she's a coward and she won't confront her demons or her shit. And for some reason she feels, I don't know what it is, because I haven't been keeping an eye on the bitch. Like, once the show stopped, I was like, okay, going on about my life, love the show, whatever. Like, I wasn't really expecting to hear anything about America's Next Top Model ever again, besides unless I went back and watched it myself. You know what I mean? Just to have a nostalgia sake. But no, you guys, they brought this shit out. They brought it on Netflix. Now, we all watched it. We all watched the show, and now we watch this. And now you want us to sit here and be like, oh, no. Like, you just told us what you did.
I think her and everybody else had to have known, because this conversation has been happening since COVID. Like,
right.
It hasn't really stopped since COVID, because people was at home reanalyzing everything because they ain't had nothing else to do. So it's been years in the making for this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like because there was so much conversation about it for the past few years, it could have been bigger than this. It could have been better than this. It could have actually been impactful in a way that helped and healed, and not just giving us more to question and more to scrutinize and more to talk about. And you putting girls back in the line of fire. I don't even think they got paid for this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into this, and I'm curious to see how this moves forward because of I don't know. It seemed like I see some posts where they were like, "It was that a threat when she said, "Oh, I'm gonna bring it back because I'm gonna abuse more people"?" Like, geez, lady, and honestly, the way that her face was and the way that she was answering the questions it was unnerving to me in a lot of ways.
No.
But let's comment on a few of our audience members. They've been up in here. Let's acknowledge them. Let's start here with Marley said Iman, RuPaul, Grace Jones are my picks for sure. Yes. Oh, if I have to choose a favorite model, who's your favorite model? Mine was Tyra for a while, but
I mean, in terms of my lifetime, it was always Tyra. It was always Naomi. It was always Heidi. It was always Giselle. It would be out of those four. When I think of a supermodel of my lifetime, it was Tyra, it was Naomi, Heidi, and Giselle.
Yeah.
When I think supermodel,
I was gonna go Tyra, and then and Rihanna. I always just loved Rihanna. I just thought she was just gorgeous. And still is. But yeah, and then I had a lot of musicians that were also like that I loved as well. So they kind of went hand in hand. But yes, and then if I had to really go supermodel, I would say I liked Giselle a little bit. And then there's this other girl, I can't remember. But when I tell you that I had a mountain full of 17 magazines, like every issue for years and years and years, like every second 17 magazine, I went straight to the horoscope, looked up my Libra horoscope, and then went through and then looked through the monthly makeup and the fashions and the things that the colors of the month and whatever. Yes, the season. There was hell of them, and I just had all those magazines. I like to just look through them, and I wanted to do that. Yeah, all of them, and so it's just. But yes, I think Rihanna is just a mogul, just beautiful, gorgeous. She's been my favorite.
I love Ree, but my girl B, she got my heart. I've been down. I've been down since 97.
You're from Texas.
I've been down since 97.
You from Texas. She is very, very close, but I had to choose my Riri. I don't know. Maybe it's the big forehead and the.
But who is stunning?
Huh?
Motherfucking Kelly Rowland is a goddess.
Oh yeah.
I went to the Brandy and Monica show here in Houston, and she was one of the acts. Oh my God, that concert was everything. It was the guy from that won American Idol, the black guy, I forgot his name, could sing his face off. He was one of the first.
Ruben Studdard.
Not Ruben Studdard. No, the new American Idol, the black guy that won last year. I forget his name.
I haven't caught up on that one.
He can sing his ass off. He was one of the openers. Keisha Cole was there, which she sounded great. She looked great.
We have Keisha Cole Day out here, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
And then Kelly was the last opener. When I tell you that body was snatched, the bob was bobbing, the skin was skinning. She is like the Godiva goddess. She is so stunning. So stunning.
Yes.
Yes. God.
I love that, like, everybody is looking so good. Like, I see Tia and Tamara the other day, and I was like,
right.
Sacrilege. Why y'all look so fucking good?
Right.
Damn.
They looking better now than when we was growing up. Hello.
What sorcery is this? This is crazy. They look,
you know, little money, little water, stress free,
little cocoa butter, little smell good.
You know,
okay.
Like, you know, little melanin goes a long way.
Took them back 20 years. I was like, God damn.
Right.
That's the twins. That's the twins.
And they all in their 40s now. That's the
thing. 50s.
Yeah, some of them 50s too. Shit. That's God.
Okay. So let's check in. So I'm a Caribbean girly. I'm Team Rihanna all day. See, we got a yes here.
Come on, Navy.
Boss Lady also says, I think her name was Alec. She was tall, very dark-skinned model. She normally used to model for Coach. I loved her. Yeah. Oh my God. I wish I still had those magazines.
The
There's so many ones. Yeah, that does sound familiar. I know exactly who you're talking about. It's like popping into my head. Yeah. I just didn't know her name as much, but yeah.
Salida E. Banks was hot for a while too. I haven't seen her in a while. She was hot for a while too.
And like I liked the Gigi Hadid era too. There were some really pretty models there.
Now you know who I don't get is fucking Kendall Jenner. She's just real basic. Like she pretty, but she ain't like that. Ain't supermodel to me.
Yeah, she just was regular. I think she took a lot of she kind of rode the undercurrent of Gigi. I think she just kind of hung around her clout. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then they also like the plain mousy white girl. That was like a thing.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But when I think supermodel, I think like supernova, like extraordinary. Like I don't see nobody else that look like you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, no, but also they would also enter those like plain Jane white girls in there just to keep them relevant so that people wouldn't get too far off and be like, oh, we're not interested in y'all no more.
And plus she got name recognition, you know, Kardashian Jenner. So
totally. So go ahead and take a picture. Yeah. Go Hey, I ain't hating on her. She was the only one that wasn't like on a tear on some weird shit too. So I don't know. I still don't hear nothing from her. But anyway, first of all, thank you guys so much for being here. What an amazing show. I really needed this. I needed to hang out with my homie Kev and just really talk about something we just were so interested in and grew up with. And shout out to Katie in the background out here who helped us out and just to do this so we could really talk about it without having to do too much work.
And you know when you love something, because we didn't prep for shit. Like I glanced at the notes or whatever, but a lot of it just came on out.
Yeah, because we knew, but we were like, let's talk about this.
Come on, fans.
Let's talk about this because, like, why not? You know, what? I don't want to talk about people being bombed all upside the head and all sorts of shit all day and everything.
Not today.
Not this Saturday. I just want to like do something different. Talk about something that I grew up with and that I actually genuinely care about because, again, I actually still care about the modeling industry. I would like it to turn into something where it is a safe place for people to work and do work and all that stuff. And I've always wanted to be a model. That was one of the things I knew I could hop in and do. And And just hearing all this bullshit about it and how unsafe it was, I'm glad that I never went down it. But like, that doesn't mean that it has to stay that way, you know?
Yeah. I think a lot of it too is societal standards of beauty. Like, people have to be willing to open their eyes and their minds to what's beautiful, because beautiful can mean one thing to you and something else to me. You know what I'm saying? And at this, and like Boss Lady is saying, like, you have to treat people with dignity and respect and protect people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm working for you, then I'm expecting you to protect me in every aspect as long as I'm working for you. Period.
Right. That should be the deal, right?
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
That's in my contract.
Right. And it's better for the both of us. It's the better for the both of us if we are in agreement on at least just that, because that gives me more incentive to do a better job, to stay a part of this project, and to, you know, make it actually something successful, instead of you just being an asshole and exploiting people and treating people like shit and making me shave my teeth down and shaving my head all wrong and filming me in one of the most embarrassing / traumatizing moments of my life.
Because one thing about this era that we're in, as annoying as it can be sometimes, they ain't taking that shit no more. Like, back then, and even watching stuff now, you know, I think people think it's insensitive when a person says, "Why didn't you say anything?" And I get it's hard for people to speak out sometimes, but I'm glad we're in an age now where people are speaking out. They're not taking that shit.
But then I want to counter with that, because it's like the same amount of accountability is still being held, which is literally none. Like, so okay, so you can talk all this shit and go on your podcast and say this and that and woo, but still there is no accountability being held here. Nobody is even apologizing on a whole last 3 episode thing. So I just can't really say like, oh, we're in 2026 now and now we're doing things differently, because look at the president of the United States. Motherfucker ain't being held accountable. Look at what happened to Renee Good and Alex Petty. They know those people are still running amok. So don't come over here talking about, oh, the people in the 90s didn't hold nobody accountable. I think we at least did a little bit better job of holding people accountable than we're doing right now. So that.
I agree with you. I think more so it's the aspect of, in the 90s, I think because we quote unquote know more and have more access, people feel like they don't have to do as much or hold people as accountable. As far in the 90s, like, you had to literally go through hell and go through the channels to get the shit actually done. I just appreciate sometimes more now that people actually are speaking out in real time, as opposed to waiting 20, 30 years to speak their truth or tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's more on the lines of what I meant, but I agree with you. Accountability is still like, where are you? Page me, call me.
Yeah, please let me know if you're still alive. Please send an SOS. We would like to help you. Because what does Boss Lady have to say? We also have to remember, though, that millennials and those born after really didn't have to fight for anything, because all our battles were being fought for us by the elders who are now dying. I'm not okay, sure. I can agree with a good like 60% of that, because again, we were children, right? So when America's Next Top Model, for example, came out, I was 10 years old. So what am I supposed to do? Of course, you're supposed to be fighting and doing things for each other. But what about the experiences that we've experienced the entire time that we've been alive and growing up? Like, don't forget that I was 11 years old when 9/11 happened, or at least somewhere around there, maybe even 8.
And also, too, you know, boss lady, you're right, but we're also still fighting the same battles. So, yeah, the elders, they laid the groundwork, but the battle is still raging on. The war is still raging on. You know, we got a few ceasefires, but we're still fighting the same battles. So I understand exactly what you mean, but we shouldn't still be fighting the exact same battles. Can we get some new battles? Can we get some new fights?
Yeah, I thought we was moving forward or something.
Right.
I actually feel like we're devolving. And again, the reason why I started this channel here and called it the Millennial Gaze when I did is because it just feels like we are a skipped over generation where we just are supposed to just take it. Whatever the fuck happened, we take it, and they don't even get. And we're don't complain. Oh, don't complain, because you're gonna have a tear on TikTok about how we can't grow up, or we can't fucking get or be younger, or how we are just complaining about everything. Bitch, I ain't complaining about shit, bro. I've been waiting for this whole send the asteroid. If you really me, send it. Send the zombie apocalypse. I'll work with that. Okay, because I'm gonna still be surprising over here surviving, because what y'all have done to this generation is completely skip over us and pretend like we don't exist when we have the experience and we're at the prime of our lives to actually do something about it.
Right. Hunter, just give me my ticket to Mars.
And we look good. Okay, shit.
Just give me my ticket to Mars. Beam me up, because it's real ghetto down here right now. I can't. It's real hood. White refrigerator, ratchet down. I can't. Beam me up immediately.
Yeah,
I would, aliens, please come. I just watched.
Where you at? What planet are we going to? I'm packed.
I agree,
Marley. Ready.
I agree, Marley. You know, we say this all the time when we're on the Don Lemon show. White men and women have to step up. They have to step up. We need more white people like Jolly Good Ginger. We need more white people like Jennifer Welch that's gonna talk that talk.
And Katie.
And Katie K on the ones and twos. That's actually about that action. You know what I'm saying? They actually, because I was raised with compassion and to respect and to care about people. Didn't matter black, white, or whatever. Like, that's human nature. Or at least it should be.
Yeah.
You know.
And also, I mean, let's just go into before we really close out, because I have to go to this auction for the school, get my flowers for the work I did to get these children some fucking paper. But
be on time.
Wanna be on top.
No, I did.
But yes, like tell me why I seen something earlier talking about how there's a white woman. Sorry, white people, but this is your people. Don't come over here asking me for shit. This white woman was like, oh my God, James Tyler Rico. I love Jasmine Crockett so much, and I was gonna vote for her, but I just have to vote for James Tyler Rico.
You don't have to nothing. That's a choice, boo.
So y'all about to fumble the fucking ball again. It's about to be like the Super Bowl, bro. Oh my God, white women, what the fuck y'all doing, bro?
I don't know, cause like I did early voting the other day, and it was the turnout was turning out. You know, the poll. I don't believe polls, but the polls are saying that she's ahead of him in double digits for the primary.
Well, I hope so. But there are a lot of videos of white women over here crying, talking about, oh my God, I love Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah. Well, you let me vote. Well, vote then.
Okay, then vote for her.
Hello.
But inside Rico, he has a softer voice. It's so
not the crazy Bible eyes. I don't want to go off on a
he might be a perfectly fine man, but she is more qualified and she has been where she deserves it. I'm sorry. How about that?
Well, not even just that. She's about that action. She's not going to just talk. She's gonna actually fight for us.
So y'all want a soft bitch instead of a real one, like a real.
And I don't like when people heavily bring religion into politics. It's supposed to be a separation of church and state for a reason. And he brings and there's nothing wrong. I believe in God. I'm a spiritual person. All that, but I don't like when people bring it into politics, because for me it comes across as weaponization. It comes across as, oh, I'm the Christian, so you gotta vote for me. I don't like that.
I don't either.
I don't like that at all.
But the thing is like, how many times are you gonna fumble the ball? How many times are you gonna betray a certain group of people who've been telling you, and then you come over here talking about how much you love somebody or how much you about to really be down, and then you switch the fuck up, bruh. Okay, do this shit one more time, white women. You're done. You're fucking done. We leaving you to the services of your white men who have been terrorizing for your ass for years. Okay, that's what the fuck we about to do, and you will not be looked at twice. You're gonna fucking be at the mercy of your own fucking people. How about that? We've been trying to fucking warn you, and every time you don't waste our time no more, because you come over here talking about, oh my god, yeah. Okay, bitch. Okay, then prove it. But you never do. You sat there and went up 65% of you bitches went up in there, said that you was gonna vote for Kamala Harris, and then went up in there and because your husband scared the shit out of you because you a bunch of fucking raggedy bitches with no courage to knock your man out or fucking bust a cap up his ass if he whoops your ass every fucking day, huh? If that's not our fucking problem, so go in that voting booth and vote for who the fuck you want to. And if you got a problem, then confront him. That's not our fucking problem that you're fucking cowards. Bunch of punk ass bitches. Fuck.
Damn! That was perfect timing, Katie. You did that. Clip that shit. That was great. I literally said it at the same time they said it.
Sorry, that's just how the fuck I feel, man. Like that.
I mean, it's true. It's true. Those are. Don't make excuses. Do the right thing because it's the right thing. Vote for the right person.
Or do the wrong thing and say you're gonna do the wrong thing, so we know who to fuck with and who not to.
Or that too. Whatever gets you there, as long as you're in the right direction this time. please and thank you. The management. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So we have gone on, and actually this was so fun. I didn't mind that I had a good fucking 2.5 hour long show talking about ANTM.
It didn't feel like 2 hours.
Not at all. And this is what I used to do. This is how I initially got on YouTube. I used to do reaction videos and commentary to concerts I used to go to, The Walking Dead, The 100, books that I was reading and things like that, and just have a good time like doing thing on my channel. And then it kind of turned into more political commentary and how I got here. But things like this is what my whole initial channel was built off of, was just reviewing and just having a chill kind of session.
No, it was fun. And I'm glad we did it. We were talking earlier before the show. I was kind of hesitant because of everything that's going on today, but I'm glad we still ended up doing it because I didn't realize how much I actually needed it my damn self. You know?
Yes.
So I'm glad we definitely did it.
Oh my gosh, good. And I want to do this a little bit more often because I still have a whole nother channel that I still co-live stream on. And some people still pop in, and I want to still cater to them every now and again. So I'm gonna start doing more reviews on like the books that I'm reading, or like if I, Legend of Monarch season 2 is coming out.
Yeah,
I'll talk about that, or you know what I mean, and just kind of still kind of do that sort of work, just because those people are still there. Those are still my friends that I do miss hanging out with. And things like that. And anytime you want to come on and talk about whatever is pop culture, like we can make a Saturday show out of it where it's just more chill and just things like this, because I think it's important to disconnect from this vile, foul fucking shit that we are in every day. It's been making me physically sick.
Yeah. We have to, even in the midst of chaos, we have to remember to honor ourselves and pour into ourselves and focus on the things that we actually love and enjoy. Like, I'm a person that loves all things pop culture and shit. That's why I do my editing, because I just love doing it. I love reimagining and telling stories and shit. So it's necessary, especially in times like this, because we'll go crazy if we don't.
Oh yeah, I mean, we are already crazy, and we go crazy.
Protect your peace at all costs, y'all.
Anyway, Katie, did you want to pop in and say hello to the team? And if you don't, that's fine. But
before this is over, I'm gonna need a whole lot of serious therapy. Look at my eye twitching.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you, Katie, for hanging in. She did not have to do this today with us.
So much, Katie K.
Yes, that is my business partner and my friend and my sister. She did a great job and is just always so great at everything she does. And don't forget, we will be here tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Monday, 4:30, Thursday, 4:30 Pacific, 7:30. What's the one? Eastern Mountain.
One of them, child.
One of that way side. That way. And we're always here. Me and Kev, our lovely Kev, be on the Don Lemon show. I'm so glad that I was able to grab somebody to talk about this with. And I was gonna do it by myself, but I was like, no, I think I should wait and find somebody that cares and loves.
No, because I randomly saw it in the chat and I clicked on it, because that chat be moving for Jesus, and I was like, oh, finally something else. And that's why I responded. I was like, yeah, girl, I seen that shit.
I wanted to talk about it.
And me and you, we just vibe naturally. So, it was a no-brainer.
And again, like I said, like on the Don Lemon show yesterday, I was just like, I'm so happy. When I first got on Don's show, I was skeptical. I was like, I probably won't even last maybe 2-3 episodes. I'm gonna hang in there and see what's up. Because I was doing
for a long time before I got on.
Yeah, I was doing this shit on my own, and with like 0 viewers, it was pretty much like I was just doing my own recording, and maybe one person would drop in, call me a bitch, and then like leave or whatever.
That's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
That's a lot of effort.
And so,
at least give me a like and a share, bitch.
Yeah, I know. And so I was just like, okay, I guess I'll go on Don Lemon show. He's from CNN. I was always independent media person. Like I didn't really even fuck with CNN or any of that like that until the pandemic and woo. But but before that, I was just fucking with like John Idarola, J.R. Jackson, Francesca Fiorentini, TYT, people. I didn't even like Jank or Anna, but it was mostly those three, and the Dr. Rashad Ricci. But anywho, that's a whole shit. But I was just like, fuck it. I guess I'll go on, and if I don't want to be on the show anymore, I'll cancel my subscription. Yeah. I was definitely, and he said, yeah, when we first met, you were in a different headspace, and I'm like, absolutely the fuck right. Shit,
he has a soft spot for you, like I think more so he sees a lot in you. I can tell by how he speaks to you and of you, and it's nice to be seen, and I think he sees.
But he was right. Like, he pointed out something. I was in a different mind space. I was like, I didn't even like him. I didn't like nobody. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't trust him. Hey, Andrea, I see you. But yeah, I was cynical. You know what I mean? And untrustworthy. And for very good reason. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I was, after that election and everything, I felt betrayed. I was like, this is some bullshit. Like, something is wrong here. And I've been living this shit my whole fucking life. All y'all talking about, oh my God, we're losing our health care, bitch. Who got health care? You got health care? I don't got that shit. You got that, and so, and then finally the community started to gel in a way that actually works for me, actually works for other people. And I've really seen, and now it's actually working so that I'm, I've been meeting our friends in real life, and even it's spreading out to other people, content creators. That's the word I was looking for. And so, like, Amazing Lucas and the dude from Superior from Why I Hate Politics, and so I've been and reaching out to those people too, and Political Punk and all these people, and they're just real people that care about things that actually all started from different areas on YouTube, the same way I did, like video gaming and shit like that. And so I think that there's something really powerful happening if we keep this going and start really binding and gelling in this community that has started. And I had every reason to feel some type of way from when it started, and to be like not trusting the bitch. You feel me? Yes, Eddie Roman Rocks. That's how we met. Yep.
You find your people in the strangest ways. I was never, I guess you could say, a community type person. And, just to be embraced by everybody, it means a lot. I actually care about y'all. And I don't even like people like that. I'm good with people, but I don't necessarily like people. But
me too.
I actually care about y'all.
I fucks with y'all. Like when me and Democracy Jesus met, oh my God, we were just in the longest, biggest embrace, and just, oh my God, Democracy Jesus was lovely and fabulous and sparkly, smells good, hair popping,
looking like a Pantene commercial,
herbal essence. You feel me?
Ooh, DJ can come to the cookout. We'll give him a dark and lovely commercial.
And he just has the cutest, most adorable, like, just accent and voice, and so passionate, and to the point where he closes his eyes while he's trying to bring out all of the passion within
it. And I love it.
Oh my God. And we just had such a wonderful time. And he introduced me to some friends that he has that live out here. So now we all connected. So we're all connecting each other to other people. And then the homie Rich might be out here tomorrow. I mean, I'm starting to really meet people in person, and it's so nice. It's making a huge difference. So, hey, you coming out here for your birthday? Where are you going?
I'll be in San Francisco for my birthday.
I am in Oakland, right across the bridge. Girl, if you need a place to stay, I have a 4-bedroom house. You can come stay here.
Oh, it's me, my husband, and my best friend is going. And my best friend, he works for Hyatt. So, child, we could stay anywhere.
Oh, my God. Well, let me pull up on you. At least let me come have a drink and blow out a candle or something.
I will send you the info of the hotel that we're staying at. If you could pull up, please pull up, child. Please do.
Quickly. Quick in a hurry. I'm barting over.
Because I think we'll be there. We get there, I think, Friday, and we're leaving like late Monday.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's quick. That's quick and easy for me. Oh my God. Because I'm hella quick over like in between the city and Oakland. So it's like not even a big deal. Okay. All right, let's get everybody out of here. Kev, your hat has a Gap band vibe going on there.
This is my Renaissance hat, child. When I went to the Renaissance concert, I had on my whole little fit. And make sure y'all follow at Kev Creator on all platforms. Please
do. Please plug yourself. Kev _ the creator. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Kev _ the creator on all platforms. Please be sure. I mean, some of the edits are amazing. Oh my God. Great work. And just a lovely person, you guys. Just someone to follow. And thank you so much for being on the show today. And we went 3 fucking hours. And
3 fucking hours.
I don't give a fuck because this is so fun, and this is what we're doing now. Okay, so I need your best smiles. I need your best smiles. I need your best pose. Na 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 na. You wanna be on top? Okay, I'm sorry. I was a girl. I know I was a tomboy, but I was also a little girl too.
Your ass come off tough, but you still girly. Trust me, I clocked T.
But Disney girl.
Okay.
All right, you guys. Hey, we gonna keep it gangster out there. Make sure that you check us out, and make sure if you did not like, please like on your way out. We trying to get. Well, we got 10 more subscribers to get to 100. 12. How many more we need? Katie pulling up.
We hit 100. It's 102.
Wait. Outspoken white woman is correct.
I didn't know that.
I was looking during the show. We hit 102.
Oh my God. Yay. Let's go.
We'll celebrate it more on Monday.
We'll make you happy. We'll make you happy.
Oh my God.
Get me off of here before I start acting.
Yeah.
I love you so much, boo. Thank you so much, Katie.
This was so fun. And we will do it again when we got something else fun to talk about, so that we don't have to talk about the misery of the world every single moment, right? Okay, you guys.
Take y'all's peace at all costs.
Check us out on Monday, 4:30. Please bring another friend. And we got plenty to talk about, like the Iran and all that bullshit. So we will be here. We'll see you then, okay? Keep it gangsta out there.
All I said was there's evil afoot.
Evil!